Good morning, everybody. It is 9:04. I'd like to call to order the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Special Magistrate Agenda for June 5th, 2019. My name is Keith Davis. I'm the Special Magistrate appointed by the city to preside over this morning's agenda. Please silence your cell phones and other noise-making devices so they don't interrupt our proceedings. And if you're going to be speaking to me this morning about any of the matters on our agenda, you do need to be placed under oath. So I will place everybody under oath at the same time. If you'll please stand and raise your right hands. Thank you. Do each of you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony this morning will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You can have a seat. We'll proceed first in the order of the matters that were signed up on the sign-up sheet in the back of the room. For each case, the city will call the case. When you hear your case called, please come up to the podium to my right. The city will present its case first. I will hear from their witness or witnesses, look at whatever documents, photographs, and other evidence the city may have. You'll have an opportunity as well to look at those documents. Let me know if you have any issues with any of them. You'll have an opportunity to ask questions of the city's witnesses if you choose. And once the city has concluded its presentation, you'll then have an opportunity to tell me everything that you feel is relevant about your case. If you have additional photographs or documents that you want me to look at and consider, that will be the time to show them to me. Once I've heard everything from both the city and the respondent, in all likelihood, I will enter an order today that resolves the matter in one way or another. So, with those introductory comments being concluded, let's go ahead and proceed with the first case.
Okay, we do have 7 development services cases first. First case number 12761 Village Boulevard 306 CE 190100174.
We never start with number 1. It's weird.
Chris Montello for the City of West Palm Beach.
Thank you.
This case was a water heater being installed at 2761 Village Boulevard. Notice of violation was given to the homeowner on December 6th of 2018. We were unable to contact them by registered mail, and we posted the notice on May 21st, 2019.
In December, how was that notice provided? Was that a hand delivery?
It was posted on the door.
In December?
In December, yes.
Okay.
There was we give them a notice of stop work order because they're working without a permit.
And that was what was done in December.
Yes.
And then in May, you posted the property for today's hearing.
Yes.
Gotcha. Go ahead. And this was for doing work without a permit, installing a water heater?
Yes, sir.
And what relief is the city seeking?
30 days, $50 a day.
Is there anybody here on behalf of the respondent in this case? Right. Are there any other photographs besides the stop work order?
There is a photograph of, I'm sorry, I just got this case from building 5 minutes ago. You can see over here where they're bringing the water heater into the house. I don't know if you have that photo. It's not, would you like to take a look?
Yeah, why don't you bring the file up? Let me take a look at that. No problem. Okay. That's photograph dated December 4th. And that coincides with the stop work order being issued. What happened after the stop work order was issued? Nothing, I guess? They did not apply for a permit? I think go ahead and go back to the microphone so that it can pick you up.
They kept working after the stop work order was issued, but generally for the city's behalf, we don't like to have people go without air conditioning or water, hot water, so though it's a stop work order, we allow them to keep working.
Okay. I have reviewed the file. The respondent's not present, but there is proper service. There's a certified mail return receipt, and there's also an affidavit of posting, so I do find proper notice in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find that the property remains in violation of City Code Section 105.1 as well as Florida Building Code 110.3. I'll allow an additional 30 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $50 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved. 30 and 50, just granting the city's request.
Number 8, 839 Avenida Hermosa, CE 1902049. Number 8, 839 Avenida Hermosa.
Again, Chris Montello here for City of West Palm. This is a case where they had a permit and never followed through with the inspections. The contractor had tried to send them certified mail for a couple of years, from what we understand, and a letter from the contractor. I don't know if you have that in your file. You have the letter for the. Okay. Well, I can bring this up for you.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that one too.
But, okay.
So they got a permit, but it was never passed and inspected and closed out. Gotcha.
There's a couple of these. There's the letter from the contractor, what he sent to us, and then there's also I believe, a registered letter from the contractor sent to them. And the permit's the next page. 2016 permit.
Sure is. Okay. August 10th, 2016, it was issued. No inspections.
I guess you'll be up here a few times today.
All right, is there anybody here on behalf of the respondent in this case? All right. However, the city does have proper service with certified mail and posting, so I will find proper notice.
Okay.
So in this case, the permit expired and they would need to
Yes.
re-up the permit.
And yes, in this case, we're only asking 30 days and $5 a day because, we don't know how easy it is to contact them.
All right, so I will find proper service. I will find, based on the testimony and evidence, the property remains in violation of City Code Section 104.4 regarding inspections and 105.5.1 regarding expired permit. I'll allow 30 days for the property to be brought into compliance. So that everyone's clear, compliance means I have to get the permit reissued and get the inspection
They're
done?
going to have to go down to City Hall and have the permit reissued or pull another permit, which they'll be allowed to do very easily by homeowner or by the same contractor, and then they'll have an inspection called in, and that's all they got to do.
All right, and that, the city wants all that within the 30-day period?
Yes, it's not, it's a turn over the counter permit.
Okay, so that is granted, and failure to comply in that regard will result in daily fines of $5 per day?
Yes.
Granted. Okay.
Case number 9, 1016 Andrews Road, CE 1902050. Number 9, 1016 Andrews.
Okay. Chris Montello with the city. This was another one, as the one we previously spoke about, where the air conditioning was installed. The original permit one number was from September of 2016. It was issued on September 14th, 2016. We posted the notice of violation on February 4th of 2019. And the notice of hearing was mailed to them, registered mail, which they received on May 13th, and then posted on May 15th. And we're asking the same thing, $30 and $5. 30 days, $5 a day.
Is there anybody here on behalf of the respondent in this case? All right, I will find proper notice with the certified mail and the posting. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation of City Code Section 104.4 regarding inspections and 105.5.1 regarding expired permit. I'll allow an additional 30 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $5 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
It's case number 10, 2737 Lake Ave, CE 190203001.
This was an air conditioning installation. The notice of violation was given to them on January 26, 2019. We were unable to get them by mail, I believe, and we posted it on It was posted on May 15th, 2019, I'm sorry.
This was for,
An air conditioning installation without a permit.
Is there anybody here on behalf of the respondent? Okay, seeing none, I will nevertheless find proper notice with the certified mail and the posting in the file. I will find, based on the testimony and the evidence, that the property remains in violation of City Code Sections 104.4 and 105.5.1. I will allow the 30 days and $5 a day.
This
again.
one's 30 and 50
30
because
and
they did it
50.
without a permit.
I'll,
One moment.
Mr. Magistrate, I'm sorry. I just want to make sure. Are we talking about number 10?
Yes. Oh, sorry.
And
Oh, I was on, because number 10 talks about, on the agenda, number 10 is
Is a
a
sign.
sign code, is it, or doing work.
No, this is 2737 Lake Avenue.
the agenda reflects a permit for a sign.
Agenda
Were you
has
discussing a
failure to
permit
pull
for
a
an
permit for a
AC?
sign
Hold on a second.
and not getting inspections for a sign. Then when you said
2730.
AC, I think my eyes went back up to tab 9, so,
Yeah.
let's get this, let's make sure we're clear on this record.
Okay, this is 2737 Lake Avenue.
Can I see or do you want to take a look at the file and see what it?
Yeah.
Installation of sign, required inspection, installation of sign.
She must have done a typo. Is it easier if I just push this off to the next one?
Yes.
Okay, so there was a typo on that, so what I'd like to request is that we push this off till next hearing.
No objection.
Okay.
Is there anybody here on behalf of the respondent in this case? Yeah, let's go ahead and reset this one, and
Okay. Yes.
So I can give it to
and that was
Melissa.
agenda item number 10, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Next, item number 201759 North Congress Avenue, E CE 1904040, number 2759 North Congress.
Yeah.
Morning, Dan Kempa, Construction Services. This case was originated back in 4/19. No response. No communication service has been obtained through posting and registered mail. City would ask for 30 days to comply with 105.1, 110.3, or a $100 a day penalty.
Is there anybody here on behalf of the respondent in this case? Okay. So they actually did the AC work but did not get a permit in this case, is that?
Correct.
All right, I will find proper notice with the certified mail and the posting in this case. Based on the testimony, I will find a violation of City Code Section 105.1 regarding failure to secure building permit and Florida Building Code 110.3 for failing to get required inspections. I'll grant the city's request for additional 30 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
211729 North Congress Ave, CE 190404141.
Dan again, City of West Palm, Construction Services. This is the same situation. Issued violation in 4/19. Service was obtained through posting and registered mail. No response from owner. City would ask again, 30 days to comply. 105.1, 110.3, FBC, $100 a day.
This was the same thing, they installed a new AC without
Yes.
getting a permit, no inspections.
Correct.
All right. Is there anybody here on behalf of the respondent? Seeing that there is not, I will nevertheless find proper notice based on the posting and the mailings in the file. Based on the evidence and testimony, I'll find that the property remains in violation of City Code Section 105.1 and Florida Building Code 110.3 for failure to secure building permit and obtain required inspections. I'll grant the city's request, allow an additional 30 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
And 231773 North Congress Ave, CE 1904047.
Yes, this is the same type of violation. The Violation was issued in 4 of 19. No response from owner. Service was obtained through posting and registered mail. Again, city would ask for 30 days to comply, 105.1, 110.3, Florida Building Code, $100 a day.
Another AC without a permit. Another AC without a permit.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anybody here on behalf of the respondent? I will find proper notice with the posting and the certified mail in the file. I will find, based on the testimony, that the property remains in violation of City Code Section 105.1 for failure to secure building permit and Florida Building Code 110.3 for failure to get required inspections. I'll grant the city's request, allow an additional 30 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Case number 4909 30th Street, CE 190403362. Number 4909 30th Street.
Good morning. All right, 909 30th Street. Ray Leung, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 909 30th Street was originally cited on 4/19/19 with the notice of violation posted at the property and City Hall on 4/24/19. Certified mail was sent on 4/24/19 as well. This property was cited for 18103J, 94302A4, and 18103B. I have made contact with the owner, who is here today, who did request more time to correct all of the violations. Therefore, the city is requesting an additional 90 days to come into compliance, or $200 per day until compliance is achieved.
Let me hear from the respondent. Yes, sir.
Good morning. Amir Said on behalf of the owner, Federal National Mortgage Association. In this case...
I'm sorry, what is your name?
Oh, I'm sorry. First name is spelled A-A-M-I-R. Last name is spelled S-A-E-E-D as in David. I'm an attorney for the owner, Federal National Mortgage Association. Just to give brief background in this case, this was a foreclosure case that lasted quite a long time. This is in the historic district as well. And my client has taken all measures to ensure the property is sanitary and debris has been removed to ensure it is in proper condition. The issue we have here is that the property is in the historic district, so in terms of any work done, we need approval from the historic district. And also, the property is currently for sale, and Fannie Mae doesn't want to use taxpayer money to paint the property, put a roof on that a new owner may not like. It's better, Fannie Mae's opinion, to have a clean slate where somebody come in and do the changes they want. An offer has been received by Fannie Mae. We're anticipating a decision by Fannie Mae will be made today. That being said, we appreciate the 90-day extension, certainly. The issue we have is if the offer is accepted today, it usually takes about 45 days to close. From that point, the new owner would have to get bids and estimates for the roofing, then get approval from the housing district and permits to get that going. So we'd ask that no fines be issued after 90 days and we'll be allowed to come before this commission again.
What says the city on that request? Feel 90 days is
Oh. I mean, we extended it from 30 days to 90 days because of the, because it is in the historic district and all the permits and stuff that may be needed after the sale goes through. Can lower the daily fine to $100 per day.
How long is, tell me again when this case commenced.
I'm sorry?
When did this start? When did you,
It originally was cited on 4/19.
of this year?
Uh-huh. And, or maybe just 120 days, $200 a day.
Yeah, I mean, so, first of all, I am going to find proper notice in this case with the posting and the certified mail. The respondent is represented by counsel at today's hearing. I'm also going to find that the property is in violation of 18103B, 18103J, and 94302A4 based on the evidence in the file. I'm not going to give you a blank check in terms of a time frame. I do want to put a limit on this. I'm inclined to go out to 120 days and thereafter assess daily fines of $100 per day. And the other thing I would suggest is if you're, getting close to that 120 and it looks like you're not gonna make it, come back and ask for an extension. I mean, for me, if I see that there's been good faith effort to move forward and the ball is actually moving down the court, I'm likely to look very favorably on that in terms of giving you more time. But I think there also needs to be a deadline to motivate that progress to go forward. So I will allow an additional 120 days for this to be brought into compliance, and thereafter daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
It's a copy of everyone. It's case number 53501 Windsor Ave, CE 190403990. Number 53501 Windsor.
Good morning. I don't think she was sworn in.
Ma'am, were you placed under oath when I placed everyone under
No.
oath this morning? If you'll please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Ray Leung, City, West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 3501 Windsor Avenue was originally cited on 4/19/19 with a notice of violation posted at the property on City Hall on 4/24 of 2019. Certified mail was sent on the same day, 4/24/2019. This property was cited for 18106A, 9471C, 7434A1J, 18162A, and 2232A. I have made contact with the owner who did remove the outdoor storage, the 9471C, but all other violations still do exist. The city is requesting an additional 30 days to come into compliance or $200 per day until compliance is achieved.
I'm sorry, tell me again, did you say 30?
30 days and, or $200 per day.
All right. All right, let me hear from the respondent. Yes, ma'am. Tell me
Hi.
your name and address.
My name is Sue Argenal, Argenal, and I was hired 2 days ago. I'm from Remax Direct to manage the property, so I just took over the property 2 days ago. I'm in the process of getting quotes and having all the items addressed within the next 2 weeks to be in compliance within 30 days.
All right. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I am going to find proper notice in this case with the certified mail and the posting that's in the file. I am going to find, based on the testimony and evidence, property remains in violation of City Code Section 18106A, 18162A, 2232A, and 7434A1J, but is in compliance with 9471C. I will allow an additional 30 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case number 13701 44th Street, CE 1905079, number 13701 44th Street.
Morning.
Morning.
Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. Property 701 44th Street was cited on 5/3/19. Certified mail was sent. The certified mail was returned unsigned. The property and City Hall was posted on 5/6/19. Property was cited for multiple violations. 18100 egress on the windows, 18-102-3. Screens for the windows, 18-103-B. Rotted wood to the exterior of the unit, 18-103-C. Repairing of the interior walls and ceilings and floors that are in disrepair. 18-103-E, doors and windows non-weather tight and are inoperable. 18-103G, leaking plumbing fixtures from the ceilings. Bathroom plumbing and kitchen plumbing not functioning correctly. 18-103H, bathroom floors in gross disrepair. 18-103I, many of the supplied equipment is in disrepair, i.e. Stoves, air conditioning, and so forth. 18-103-I, 18-106-A, there's trash and debris on the property. Property is also cited to 18-106E, extermination for pest. 18-106-G, there are multiple areas to the exterior of the unit that require painting. 18-106K, landscaping requires maintenance. 18-106M, landscaping presents as unhealthy. 18-95-A, various outlets are working incorrectly. 18-97-1, the kitchen sink and cabinetry is in gross disrepair. 74-4-C-5, the right-of-ways adjoining this particular property are in need of maintenance. 94-482-A, the parking areas are going to require some maintenance as well. And 94-71-C, there's outdoor storage that was noted at the location. This property has been cited on multiple occasions, both in present years and past years. Mrs. Jarvis has made minimal repairs at best. So that said, the city's requesting 30 days in order to comply, or a fine of $200 per day be imposed.
Michael, tell me a little more about the extermination. I couldn't glean, you testified it required it, but I didn't see any, I couldn't determine anything from the photographs.
Actually, there was like evidence of termites there in the unit. I don't know if the pictures really kind of caught that, but I was
That's why I
able.
wanted to get some testimony on it.
Right. Yeah, there was evidence of termites. There was rotted wood throughout the unit. There was like strong evidence that that this particular unit is infested with termites.
Okay, what about, give me some testimony about the 18103E, doors and windows are not weather tight.
Many of the windows are inoperable. They don't open. All of the doors are non-weather tight. In other words, there are gaps around the doors, you know, where you can get snakes or roaches or whatever in through those doors. But many of the windows also don't work or broken.
Okay, tell me, you mentioned briefly, there was some comment about the history of this property. Can you give me some testimony about both if there have been other cases recently or historically?
There have been other cases as of recent, like violations, and again, just kind of minimal work was completed. But now the units are at a point where they need to be, where a contractor needs to be hired and the units need to be totally refurbished. These are extremely old units, which I don't know the age of the units, but they're extremely old. That much I do know. And at this stage, these units require some pretty in-depth and pretty intense work to be accomplished.
Is 30 days going to be enough time, even if they jump on this?
Well, 30 days would be a push. It would be.
All right, let me hear from the respondent. Yes, ma'am. Why don't you tell me your name and address?
My name is Dorothy Jarvis. I reside at 144 Greenwood Drive. Been the owner of the property since the 80s. Unfortunately, I have had a very contentious eviction that took place yesterday. Before the eviction, the gentleman in question has caused some of the damage. He was there for 3 months. He had a lease for 3 months.
Okay.
He paid no rent, but he decided that in his anger, he's notified the police if I even put my car in the driveway to look for something. And I have made arrangements with Nozzle Nolan to initiate tenting as of tomorrow. Yesterday, I went in the apartment and took everything out of it that he's destroyed. The screens need to be fixed. The locks have been changed because of the eviction. The tenting is taking place. The doors have been addressed in the past. The downstairs door, yesterday, I had a carpenter come. He changed the locks. That was intact. The downstairs door on the right side I thought was okay because I've had that replaced. But my concern is getting out of the contentious eviction that took place where this gentleman even told the judge that she was a white racist and I was, quote, a fucking white bitch. So, I take offense to that. Now, having known that there is somebody going in there I'm putting in a brand new carpet in there today. I've taken all the furniture out. I'm fixing the screens. I can get the windows open and closed. And I can get the place tented. I'm not going to rent it. I'm hoping to be on a vacation next month. But in light of the violations that he has, there are some concerns I have about painting, because I had painted the apartment, several years ago on the outside. If there's some woodwork, I've had painted woodwork. So I have to talk to Mr. Williams about some of these items that have been reported, and he's photographed some of the damage. I had a carpenter go in and plumber go in and fix a leak in a pipe, and it was covered up, and there's evidence it was covered up, but this gentleman persisted in saying there was still a leak and there's not a leak. They say there's a leaking roof, and the roof, to my knowledge, has no leaks. The tenant upstairs says there are no leaks. So my hope is that I can deal with what Mr. Williams said. It's an old building, and it's asbestos, and I can't do much about the fact it was built in the 30s instead of up to code. The electrician has gone in, and he's a qualified electrician, and he's made sure that the lights work and it's up to speed. The kitchen cabinets were replaced. The sink has been replaced. So I have to deal with when I walked in yesterday, it was a pig pen. And then by the time it gets cleaned up, well, I think we can discuss the screens and painting, but I'm in despair about the way it was left. But you can go by 44th Street now, there's a pile of furniture and old rugs, and the termites are being examined because Nozzle Nolan has been paid already to start tenting it. He'll detent it on the 2 days, Friday, and got out Monday. The tenant upstairs has agreed to move into a temporary housing while it's being tented, and I'm not going to rent the apartment downstairs or until this is all cleared up.
Okay.
I'm making every attempt to clean this up, Mr. Williams.
Well, it sounds like from your testimony that you've started making some forward progress on this. How much time do you think it'll take you to get the rest of it done?
Well,
get everything-
knowing that the citation that I got on 226, which is the last one that I saw, I have tried to remove I put in plants that were taken out. I have a vehicle that was been removed. I've had multiple occasions where I've gone up myself and picked up the beer cans thrown around. Yesterday, there were 35 beer cans thrown around by the man whose son said he was living there and he wasn't supposed to be there. So I'm attempting to clean up this property right now before I get back with Mr. Williams after it's tented. And I'd like to discuss where we can come to understanding what painting, because one time he said, that, okay, I'm not going to paint the whole thing pink again. So I have to deal with some negotiation here to make sure we're on the same plate. Is that agree?
Excuse me, may I ask Ms. Jarvis the name of the tenant that you referred to in your eviction of yesterday?
It was awful.
The name of that tenant?
George Evans Jr. And his son was put in the apartment without a lease, and he said he was the protector. Now, the son is 6'4" and weighs about 185 pounds, and Mr. Williams is about 6'1", and he's 69 years old. And Mr. Williams hired, quote, put his son in there without permission to live there. And he said, well, other than the racial remarks, he was protecting an 84. His father, and I'm 84. So when I went on the property, even putting my car into the driveway to check on a vehicle, he called the police on me 4 times, saying I'm not supposed to be on the property. So this has been, first of all, the guy only had a 3 months. Faith, Hope, Love, and Charity, a veterans organization, paid for 2.5 months' rent. He was supposed to pay for 1. He never paid for it. The only thing he ever did was put in security deposit, which obviously been utilized for getting him out. It was I found out I'm dumb. I evicted him from another property 13 years ago and didn't recognize him.
Goodness.
And that time, yesterday, this is how bad it was, which is the man who was in there to clean up the furniture and take it out, there was fecal material thrown against the toilet seat. The refrigerator's full with crap. But getting it tented, cleaning it up, and talking to Mr. Williams, I think
Okay.
we can resolve some of this.
City, have any other questions for the respondent?
I just want to make sure, he was a tenant for approximately 3 months, you're saying?
He had a lease for 3 months to the end on 5/31, and Faith, Hope, Love, and Charity paid a 1.5 months rent. He was supposed to pay 1. He never paid it. He had a security deposit, never paid the light bill.
So that means from approximately February to March, he was a tenant. Am I hearing that
Yes.
correctly?
And it's the longest and shortest. In other words, it was a very short lease, but it was a lengthy, once I found out that he violated even Faith, Hope, Love, and Charity are apologetic, and I didn't do a background check because I believe the vets, and then I found out after the fact that he put his son in there, and his son, I have pictures of being yelled at, I'm going to jail, he's putting me in jail. He wrote the judge when I was doing eviction that I deserve to go to prison. It's been different, to tell you the truth.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
Sir, if I may.
Just anything else, Ms. Jarvis? I mean, I understand what you've told me, but I also, it's very clear to me from the photographs that I've been presented and the testimony that there are a lot of violations remaining on this property, and you need to get them cleaned up. So let me hear from the city.
Yes, sir. Ms. Posner, Code Enforcement. Several things. First of all, the history of this property under her ownership is 23 violations under her ownership. Of the 6 properties she owns in this city, we've cited a total of 100 times exactly. I'm sure she had a contentious relationship with the tenant who came to speak with me a week after he moved in complaining about the conditions. And you can see the pictures for yourself. This is not damage caused by a tenant over the course of 3 months. This is years of neglect. The simple fact is she's not really a victim. Again, I understand they had a contentious relationship, but that seems to be one of her favorite words. She left me a message yesterday that she's going to be contentious on her violations. Then during the course of our conversation, complained that it was contentious the entire time. So I don't really understand where the contentiousness is coming from other than her refusal to do anything but let the city manage her properties. I'm glad she's picking up some of the cleaning on the outside. Usually it takes us citing it.
Excuse me.
I'd also want it clear that I'm glad she's cleaning up some of this, but it's going to require more than cleaning. There are obvious repairs that need to be made.
I get it. I see the structural issues and,
Good.
Thank you.
May I suggest?
get
Faith,
your
Hope,
final
Love-
comments. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Faith, Hope, Love, and Charity sent a gentleman from that institution into the apartment prior to Mr. Evans' occupancy, inspected it and passed it. Now, I've done the floors, I've done the kitchen cabinets, I've done the refrigerator. So some of these things that have been damaged since this incident occurred were after the inspection was done internally. Now, if you have an inspector who says it's suitable habitation, and the guy was very nice, and he said, good place, good, let him in, and I made the mistake of saying I accepted that and didn't do a background check. So there is a problem here that I'm trying to resolve and understand where I'm coming from in terms of the upkeep of the property. Yes, I've been a landlord since 1977, and yes, I've done 80 evictions. And unfortunately, I'm trying to maintain these properties and get them in a workmanlike. I'm not interested in re-renting them. I'm concerned. I'm trying to deal with it. But when somebody says it's inspected, and then this man comes in and tries to destroy it, and then calls up, the code enforcement says I'm doing something that he's done. It's been very, very contentious, and if you have 8 complaints to the judge about racism and harassment, calling the police, this is not what I would consider. I consider this very contentious.
Thank you, ma'am. I hear what you're saying, and I appreciate the efforts you've put forth to this point based on your testimony. I also very clearly see the violations and appreciate the city's position. So here's what I'm going to do in this case. I have reviewed all of the photographs. I've listened to all the testimony. I do find that the evidence supports finding a violation on each of the code sections that were cited in the notice of violation. So I do make a finding of violation on each of those code sections that are listed on the
I
notice.
also haven't seen the pictures.
Pictures have been on the screen the entire time we've been talking.
I'm sorry.
If you'd like to take a moment and look at them before I finish, you're absolutely entitled. If you want to look at them one more time before I finish, you're entitled to do that, but
Well, can I talk to Mr. Williams about them?
you can speak
After
to Mr.
this is-
Williams offline, but, and I would encourage you to do so as you're going through this compliance process. I got a little bit ahead of myself. Ms. Jarvis is present, so I do make a finding of proper notice. The file also contains the appropriate documentation regarding mailings and postings. I do think, as Mr. Williams acknowledged, 30 days will be a little aggressive. I'm going to allow you 60 days to get this wrapped up, bring everything into compliance. But after 60 days, daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved. I mean, it's very clear to me that, as Mr. Posner testified, there's more here than just an angry tenant. There's very clear evidence of long-term neglect to this property that it needs to be fixed. So that is my order in this case. Thank you.
Okay.
Ms.
thank you.
Jarvis? Ms. Jarvis? Next case number 17-625 35th Street, CE 190304116, number 17-625 35th Street.
Good morning, Joe Patrick, West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This case is reference to a single-family residence that was issued a notice of violation for roof, windows, and air conditioning units in disrepair, graffiti on the exterior and holes in the exterior of the building. Buildings also needed painting, trash and debris on the property, landscaping and lawn in disrepair, and a beehive that was on top by the roof stop in the rear of the building. The notice of violation was issued via certified mail and posting on April 1st and gave the respondent 30 days to comply by obtaining applicable permits for repairs for the roof and windows, and 30 days to replace the AC units, remove the graffiti, and repair the paint in the exterior, and also to restore the landscaping on the property. And I gave 10 days to move the beehive and the trash and debris on the property. After notice of violation was issued, I was contacted by the respondent over the phone and in person. We met on the property a few times to discuss the violations, and we also discussed ways to bring the property into compliance. As of today, only the beehive has been removed, so Section 18106E is in compliance. The property remains in violation of 18103B, roof soffit and wall in disrepair, 18103E, windows in disrepair, 18103I, AC units in disrepair, 18103J, painting is required, 18106A and 18106I, clean and sanitary for the trash and debris, and 94-442E and 94-446-2 for the landscape maintenance. The city is asking for compliance within 30 days or $100 a day fine be assessed.
Is that the window AC unit in that picture, Mr. Petrick?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is.
Is it not in there correctly, or
Right.
what's going on with that?
I'm sorry, it was hanging up. There was also some plastic or some type of material that was hanging out. That's one of them. There's actually a couple of AC units on the property. There's one on top as well, behind those bushes. There's a few different types, but none of which are secured properly. They're rusted. They appear to be leaking in areas. And then there was some type of material on top of one of them. The respondent did take the material off and has been exploring ways to fix those, but unfortunately, they're still in disrepair.
Okay, let me hear from the respondent. Yes, sir. Tell me your name and address, please, and then tell me what's going on.
All right. My name's Andy Miles. My address is 506 Circle East, Jupiter. And basically, I agree with everything that he's pointed out there, and I'm a licensed general contractor, and my time has just been limited on that. And all I'm basically asking for is for more time to handle it, and I'll take care of all the issues.
How much time do you believe you need to get it complied?
I'm asking for 120 days.
Okay, and the city's asking for 30. And in your original notice, you said you allowed basically a total of 60 days, 30 for permitting, and then 30 more for the work.
Well, that's the question here. If permits need to be pulled, we're asking for 30 days to obtain those permits. And then, of course, additional time, through the building permit process, you would get 6 months. But for those issues that don't require a permit, or if as a general contractor you repair some of those yourself, either 30 days obtain a permit, or 30 days to comply those out that don't need a
require
permit. Yes, sir.
All right. Is there any reason you can't get the permits within the next month?
No.
No. I tend to agree with the city's request in that regard. So first, I do find proper notice, respondent is present, and the file contains the appropriate mailings and posting documentation. Based on the evidence and the testimony, I do find that the property is in violation of all the code sections that were cited in the notice and that appear on the agenda. So for compliance, 30 days to obtain permits for the violations that require permits, and 30 days to comply with the violations that don't require permits, such as the clean and sanitary and trash and litter and that sort of thing. Once permits are obtained, I will give you an additional 60 days to get the work done on the permit violations. So basically, for the violations that require a permit, I'm giving you 90 days, 30 to get the permits, and then an additional 60. Violations that don't require a permit, I'm agreeing to give you 30 days to get those taken care of. If those deadlines are not met, there will be daily fines of $100 per day until compliance is achieved. Okay, thank you very much.
You'll get your order in the mail, sir.
That one too complicated?
Number 19, 2417 Spruce Ave, CE 19040417.
19, all right. Okay, Joe Petrick, West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This case in reference to a commercial building, a barber shop, that was issued a notice of violation via certified mail and posting on April 24th for trash and debris on the property, air conditioning unit in disrepair, weeds on the property, unmaintained landscaping, graffiti on the exterior of the building, and the building was also in need of painting. The parking lot surface was in disrepair. Just a note here, code section 18-1-100, safe egress, was cited in error. That pertains to residential properties, and this is a commercial building, so that needs to be removed. I noticed these violations in early March while conducting a rental inspection for a new business that was opening, and discussed the exterior property violations with the respondent's handyman Ernest while he was attempting to bring the interior into compliance so the new business could open. The exterior violations were not addressed in all of March, and by mid-May, they still existed. Subsequently, a notice of violation was issued on April 24th and gave the respondent 30 days to paint the building and repair the exterior parking area, and 10 days to repair, replace the air conditioning unit, restore the landscape, remove the weeds, graffiti, and trash and debris. After notice of violation was issued, I discussed the violations with the respondent who's here today, both on the phone and at the property. As of yesterday afternoon, significant progress has been made. However, the property still remains in violation. As of yesterday afternoon, it remained in violation of 18106A. There's an open trash can being stored at the rear of the property. 18106B, some weeds remain. Looks like some mulch just sort of poured over some weeds. 18106G, a majority of the building was painted. Trim work was still needed, and there was some that potentially needed another coat because of old signage and old paint was coming through. There was some mulch needed in a few plant beds. There were some repairs that were still needed in the concrete and asphalt. The property is in compliance with 18105I, the AC has been repaired, and 18106H, the graffiti has been removed. The respondent sent me an email with some pictures this morning showing that some work was done yesterday afternoon and yesterday evening to bring the property in compliance. What the city's asking for is 15 days for me to go out and re-inspect to see what what sections, new sections were potentially brought into compliance, or a $100 a day fine be assessed.
All right, let me hear from the respondent. Yes, sir.
Yes, good morning. I'm Nicholas Arsali. I'm the company authorized rep who owns the property.
Okay.
We have received a notice of violation. We had a tenant who agreed to take over to do the painting as their desire. However, they did not comply with. So far, we got involved and we took care of everything. Yesterday, I spoke with the officer and he sent me some pictures saying that there were still some minor things that needed to be done. I assured him I will go ahead and get in there right now. We take care of it and send him a picture. We did take care of it and send a before and after pictures of all the pictures that he provided me, which I have a copy if I can provide. And This morning, I confirmed that he has received. He did mention it was looking good. However, he needs to go in there and confirm that those items that they were provided to me, they've been done. And I have no problem with it. So the only thing I'm asking is that I'm sure everything is done to his satisfaction. The case will be closed. Just in case if there's some outstanding items still is not to his satisfaction, then I would like to at least 30 days to address, especially if it has to do with repaving asphalt or anything like that. So,
And did you
but
say
I do
you
have
had-
the pictures here to
Yeah,
provide.
Mr. Petrick, have you seen his photographs?
I did, I saw those this morning. I'm okay with
Any
it.
objection to me looking at those?
No, sir.
Why don't you go ahead and,
Aye, aye.
yes. Thank you. Let me take a look at what you have.
The first picture is just a before and after, just the outside looking extremely good now. And then it shows all the little things, minor stuff, before and after.
All right, and these were just, this work was just done the other day?
These are the pictures that I received from Mr. Jenks yesterday, what's left on the property to be done. And since they were very minor, we got in there and we did it. So that's, the property should be in compliance. And I'm sure after the confirmation by Mr. Jenkins, he will confirm that the property is in compliance.
All right, just so the record's clear, there's 26 photographs on 13 pages. Based on respondents' testimony, depict before and after of the property. Without objection, I'll accept these into the record as a respondent's exhibit for today's hearing. Anything else from either side? All right, then I do find proper notice. In this case, respondent is present with its represented agent. File also contains the proper notice documentation with the certified mail and the posting. Based on the testimony and the evidence that I've reviewed, I find that the property has complied with 18105I and 18106H. I find 18100 is not a violation. It was cited in error. Find the property remains in violation of 18106A and B and G, 94-446-2 and 94-485E. It looks like this is pretty close. I'm inclined to grant the city's request. In this case, I'll allow an additional 15 days for you to go out and do a final inspection. If there's anything that needs to be tweaked, they'll have the 15 days to tweak it, and thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed in the event there are any outstanding violations. Okay, thank you very much. That's good.
Mr. Arcelli? Next case number 471516 Spruce Avenue, CE 19040056. Number 471516 Spruce Avenue.
Can I be sworn in? You need to be sworn in. You swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning. Officer Phil Cartwright, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property at 1516 Spruce Avenue was originally cited on May 3rd of 2019 for safe egress, clean and sanitary conditions, screens provided on windows, repair of walls and foundation, repair of interior walls, repair of external doors and windows, plumbing fixtures, repair of bathroom fixtures, exterior paint, repair of kitchen sink, hot water and cold water piping, also cooking and heating equipment. Service was achieved by certified mail. The property was posted on April 3rd of 2019, as well as City Hall. All the violations are current. I have been in contact with the owner, who's here today. The city is asking that the property come into compliance within 60 days or $500 per day thereafter.
Is everything still outstanding in terms of violations?
Currently with this property, yes, sir.
All right, let me hear from the respondent. Yes, sir.
Hi, yeah. My name is Brian Mazuzakis. Yeah, we just need a little bit more time in the 60 days, and we'll do everything that you guys want.
You said you think you can get it done within the 60?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And if there's nothing else, based on the testimony and evidence, first, I do find proper notice, respondent is present, and the file has the appropriate notice documentation. Based on the testimony and the evidence, and I have reviewed all the photographs, I will find the property remains in violation of all the sections cited in the notice of violation as
Excuse me,
appeared
Mr.
on this morning's-
Magistrate, I apologize. I believe there's a tenant here to,
One of the tenants, I guess, is here and wants to, I guess, have a couple words to talk about the actual property.
Who wanted to
if
be
you want to
heard.
call him as a witness, I'll leave that up to your discretion.
Okay.
Good morning. How you doing?
Were you sworn in, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
My name is Vernell. I'm a tenant down here. I don't agree with the 60 days because this property been like that for years. When I first approached Jim, this is the son about it, he was very rude about it. It's like it's going to be like that regardless of anything. 60 days, it should have been done 30 days ago when you first cited. I'm only going to be there until the 15th of June, and I had to go to court. And even going to court, he wanted to put me out, so I guess he thought it would be pushed under the rug. I've been accused of doing the property like this. His father has called the police, told him I damaged the property. And the West Palm Beach would have put me out, the police, not the sheriff, because he said he had a hotel motel license. And this was like 2 weeks ago. And so he's still with the nonsense, and to come stand here and say he needs 60 days, it's not going to get done. And as soon as it quiet, he moves some of the trash around. As soon as it gets quiet down, he's going to put more people back in there under the same condition. And it's even worse than this. It's just only the one area there, but you have 4 rooms down there. And it's a hole in the ceiling in one of the rooms. In the kitchen, actually, the people upstairs, I guess they have a bucket, and when it get full, it leaks down, so water's coming through the light fixture. I couldn't call code enforcement because it was like 10 o'clock at night. He said his dad was coming, nobody never showed up. So you couldn't walk in the kitchen because you didn't know if you were going to get electrocuted. There's only one way in and one way out. And in the shower, as you can see, I'm short. So when you do get in the shower, I'm like this, bathing with a brush. So all that was always asked, was he going to correct this? All he do is cover up. See the picture with the commode? It's covered up. So when if he going in to fix it, no, he's just going to take something else and just cover it up. Everything is covered up. Nothing is repaired or replaced. And that's what I want to.
Right, so
and this is not the only property. All his mess is like this. I don't even know why the city gave him a license to rent. He don't respect nothing.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Sir, do you have any question, ma'am? Just a second. Do you have any
Ma'am.
questions for the witness? All right, thank you.
I
Thank you
have
very
two.
much.
I want to make sure. Ma'am, what was your name again, please?
Vernell Strawn.
I'm sorry.
Vernell, V as in Victor, E-R-N-E-L-L, S-T-R-A-C-H-A-N.
And you reside in this 1516 Spruce Avenue, or you're in a different apartment?
Actually, it's 1516 and it's 1514. I'm in the basement.
Can we get her to the microphone?
Oh, I'm under 1514, which is called the basement.
Okay. 1514 Spruce.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Special Magistrate, we also want to make sure, the reason that we asked for the 60 days was because of the extensive repairs on the inside. Landlord understands that he is going to have actually pull significant permits to make sure that the work is done correctly.
Thank you.
So that's why we asked for that time.
And sir, do you have anything else you want to tell me based on the testimony that I heard from the city's witness?
I mean, it's not covered up, but yeah, whatever you guys can come in and inspect, we'll do everything that you guys asked for. We have no objections.
Okay. All right, and, you know, and I appreciate the frustration that I hear in your voice, ma'am. There's limited things I can do in this role, and the law requires that certain things happen. And given the circumstances and the law, I believe the 60-day time frame is appropriate in this case. So I will grant the city's request. 60 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $500 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved, though, so you do need to get on this. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Case number 55, 617 5th Street, CE 190400235, number 55, 617 5th Street.
Hold just a second. Good morning, Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on April 11th. Certified mail was sent out on also on April 11th. In addition, the property and City Hall were posted on April 18th. The property was cited for failure to secure a building permit, excessive overgrowth, clean and sanitary, paint, rental license violation, certificate of use required, garbage can placement, and landscape maintenance. I've had contact with the property manager, Jose. The property has complied with the 105.1, 18106B, 7434A1J, and 94446-2. At this time, the city is asking for an additional 30 days for the remaining violations, or $200 per day until compliance is achieved.
So the rental license and certificate of use is still outstanding, the paint and the clean and sanitary.
Yep.
Everything else was brought into compliance.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, let me hear from the respondent. Yes, sir.
Good morning, Jose De Leon. I represent Lavera LLC. The clean and sanitary, I don't agree with. I think that's been taken care of. The other things, on the paint, we already power cleaned it, and we're working on getting that done. The rental license, we paid for it, applied, and we just need to get the interior inspection done. So I agree, 30 days, we'll go ahead and get that done, but I just wanna talk about the clean and sanitary. The property to me is clean and sanitary. I moved the garbage cans to the back, which was really the only thing that will probably be considered not clean and sanitary.
Let me get some additional testimony from the city on that violation. Tell me
Okay,
what
I've
we're
spoken
talking-
with Mr. Delion on several occasions, and he mentioned that the property was pressure washed. That has never happened. Every time I've spoken to him, his argument was that he doesn't feel that it's necessary for him to paint the property or do anything else other than what has done. It actually took, I think maybe last week or 2 weeks ago is when he actually submitted the form to get the rental application. So the property still needs to be painted. It needs to be kept up with. So that's part of the clean and sanitary, to make sure that, it's painted in a workmanlike manner. It needs to be presentable. Just leaving it with patches and having graffiti in the back that's been there since it's been cited, and I've pointed out several times, still has not been taken care of. So that is part of the clean and sanitary.
So the city's position is that clean and sanitary violation.
Relates to the painting as well. The
So
painting
then
and the
why
removal of
cite
the
it-
graffiti
Why cite
marking.
it twice as paint and clean and
Just a second,
sanitary?
sir. Because the reason I ask is at least, can I see the notice of violation? Because on the agenda, clean and sanitary talks about trash and debris.
And it talks about trash and debris, and to wit, it says, in addition to maintain the property in a clean and sanitary manner. In the to wit.
So Code Section 18106A requires every owner of a building, structure, or lot, vacant or occupied, to keep the premises in a clean and sanitary condition including yards, lawn, courts, and driveways. So let me see how the notice of violation addressed this. It looks like it's the same. Well, hang on. Scroll up so I can see.
Scroll up.
Okay.
Yeah. Go down. Where's the specific details?
Okay, so right here.
Yeah, go down.
There's, so 18106A,
Down.
specific details regarding each violation. 18106A, there's trash and debris on the property.
Go down.
So give me some, so I need, let me see the evidence about the trash and debris on the property.
There's the it says the property needs to be kept in a clean and sanitary condition. I make sure I put that in the notice.
But again, on it here, it says remove trash and debris from the property or the city will comply this property with contractual services and bill you for the costs. So again, I mean, I agree, the 18106A generally is a pretty broad requirement, but in the notice that you sent the respondent, you specifically, in two places, tell them to remove trash and debris for 18106A. So I'm just trying to understand what they're out today, what is in violation for what he was cited for in the notice.
Yeah, the painting, that's why at the end of the notice, it says the property needs to be kept in a clean and sanitary manner.
Okay.
And even when he did contact me and we went over it and went through all the violations one by one, I mentioned to him that was part of the clean and sanitary, which, again, not only did Mr. DeLeon spoke to me, he also spoke to other code officer, Ray Leong, which he told us he was not going to paint the property. He didn't feel it was necessary. So he is aware that of these items needing to be done. He just said he wasn't going to do it.
Okay. Anything else, sir?
Yeah, I don't agree. I mean, if you pull up the pictures of the property, I still don't agree that it needs to be painted. But obviously, you have code enforcement and you have to do as they say. So I do not agree that it needs to be painted, but we are working on it. I never said that we won't do it because obviously we have laws and it's not up to me to say, no, it's not going to be done because then we get a fine. The property was pressure cleaned in regards to, well, pertaining to the painting, because before we paint it, it needs to be pressure cleaned, and that's already been done. I don't know when was the last time that the code enforcement officer drove by, but I mean, I guess that's not something that I'm not here to argue about anything, just tell you that that's going to be done within the 30 days that they're affording us. I just don't want extra things to be on here and said and go on record when they're incorrect. And that is the clean and sanitary. Whatever it is, we'll get it taken care of, but just don't throw more stuff in and make it look like I'm a bad guy or like we're the bad guys. I just want to get this resolved. I don't want any issues with the city or with anybody else. The other thing was that about us not doing it, that wasn't just because I wouldn't want to do it. It was because the property right now is vacant, and we talked about it, meaning the owner, and we weren't sure if it was going to be rented. So before we go ahead and get a rental license, then and spend that money, we needed to be sure that we wanted to proceed with renting the property. That's the only reason there was a delay on that.
Okay, thank you. Here's what I'm going to do in this case. First, I do find proper notice. The respondent is present, and the file contains the appropriate notice documentation with certified mail and posting. Based on the testimony and the evidence that I have seen and heard, I am going to find that the property remains in violation of City Code Section 18106G, 18162A, and 2232A. I'm going to find compliance with 105.1, 106B, 106A, 7434A1J, and 94446-2. Just to be very clear on the issue with 18106A, I'm finding compliance based on the way it was cited in the notice. It was cited specifically about trash and debris. It did not refer to the paint as being part of it, even though the code section arguably could capture that. The way this respondent was noticed, it was only for trash and debris. So I'm finding that to be in compliance. Nevertheless, it is also very clear to me that the property is in violation of the paint requirements I don't have any issue with that at all. That is a violation. I will allow 30 days for those violations to be cured. Thereafter, daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved. Thank you very much.
Thank
No
you.
problem. Thank you.
Am I next?
Ms. Lee, it depends, it's all over.
This case number 57708 Douglas Avenue, CE 190403323, number 57708 Douglas Avenue.
I have two addresses on the agenda for that. I have 708 and 7, oh, I'm sorry, that's the owner, 716 Douglas Avenue LLC. I got it. Okay.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on April 11th. Certified mail wasn't sent out. The notice was actually hand-delivered to the property manager, Carlos Menendez, on April 18th. The property was cited for external doors and windows, interior and exterior stairway repair, cleaning sanitary, paint, and operative vehicles, garbage litter refused, landscaping area must be grass, landscaping of the swell and parkway, outdoor storage, rental license, and certificate of use. I've had contact with the property manager. The property has complied with 1806G, 34102B, and 9442E. At this time, the city is asking for additional 30 days for the remaining violations, or $200 per day until compliance is achieved. Oh, I'm sorry, and 10 days for the garbage can placement.
I got 94-442E as being complied, but you said something else had complied and I missed.
Oh, okay. 18106G is complied.
18106G regarding paint, that's
The paint and the inoperative vehicle, that's also complied.
34102B is complied.
Mhm.
All right. And then this landscaping of the swale is complied. 442.
Yeah, 442E is also complied.
Everything else is still outstanding.
Everything else is still outstanding, but I wanted 30 days for all the violations other than the garbage can placement, which is just 10 days.
Right, you want 30 days for everything
Thing-
except 7434A1J.
A1J,
You
yes.
want 10 days for that.
Yeah, $200 per day.
Understood. Okay. Let me just take a quick peek at these pictures as they scroll through. All right, let me hear from the respondent. Yes, sir.
Good morning. Carlos Menendez. I'm not versed with the citation numbers or those numbers you guys are throwing around. I don't know what they are, but I will tell you in the past 30 days, we just got title to this property roughly, I think, 45 days ago. The company's a Colorado company. We had to register with the state of Florida, which I thought was a simple process. It took me close to 15 days to do that. I've already registered with them. I've paid for the license with the city. I've paid with the license with the state. I'm waiting on them. I tried to get fire to come out. For some reason, there's a glitch in the system where the gentleman says he can't even put anything in there. He was going to contact the code enforcement officer to see what was going on so he can approve the fire. In the last 30 days, I have painted the building. I've removed I've had the tenants remove the non-operable vehicles. I've plastered around the windows and doors. I've had the building pressure washed, primed, and painted. I've had a glass company go out and fix 12 broken windows. I had to replace 32 screens. I got the railing for one of the buildings, the 708. The front one was the missing railing pieces were put welded on, and it was secured more because it was very loose. The rear one, which only had a top rail, we added a bottom rail and vertical sticks every 5 to 6 inches as they asked, and that both buildings have been painted, pressure washed, the railings have been painted, the floors are painted, asphalt was patched and coated. We also put parking stops so the tenants could not drive through from the asphalt to the grass because they were parking on the grass. We've added 3 pallets of grass to the front. We've repaired the sprinkler system, the sprinklers and the sprinkler system. I've added 4 fire extinguishers with the complete housings because there was none. The garbage, I don't know why she's even giving 10 days on it. They recommended I build some type of like enclosure to cover the totes because they're unsightly, I guess. I asked why, because I drove an 8 to 10 block radius. I didn't see one. I saw everybody's tanks from the street. But again, they asked me to be the pioneer. So I became the pioneer and I built 2 of the enclosures. They're completely enclosed unless, out of the 6 units, I've evicted 2 non-conforming tenants. I've repaired those units. The tiles were like 70% of the tiles were broken on the floor. So we had to replace all the tile in there. I'm working on the 3rd unit now. I'm also evicting another tenant that's non-conforming. The 3rd unit, I spoke to the inspector. I wanted her to come by so she can see the inside of the units because it's really one that I have to finish. And now, as of yesterday, when I spoke to her again, now the railing of another building, which honestly, she mentioned one time walking through the property that even that one may need sticks on it, but it wasn't really said that it did, because if not, it took me to find workers here, and we have property in Homestead, we have property in Detroit, we have property in upstate New York. To find workers here in West Palm Beach is a little hard, and even the railings, I had a company come out, take a deposit, never come back. I had another guy come, start the job. I had to stop him because he didn't look like he knew what he was doing. Finally, I got a guy who drove for 3 hours to come down to do the job. And obviously, if he was here ready, I would have got him to do the front one if I knew it needed to be done. Now he has to come back. But again, the 3 pallets of gas, repaired the sprinklers. What else? I've removed the 2 tenants. And that's it. I had the building exterminated for German roaches, which is basically the only thing I've seen in there a lot of. They're going to come out another week again. So I would ask for 60 days. And I think it's very steep for a $200 fine. I will tell you and assure you, and I'm under oath, I've stuck in that past 40, 45 days, $20,000 to $25,000 into those buildings.
It says the city on the request for 60 days as opposed to 30.
Just to give a little bit background on this property, Special Magistrate, even though the name of the property has changed to an LLC now, Mr. Menendez and this company, they actually were the owner. It was just leased to a gentleman named Howard Howell. And he was also running fines for these same violations. And he was still manager at the time. And the fines were just left to be continued. It's not only till they, I guess, foreclosed on the property or closed out their contract with him that he now wants to start doing the work on it. So they've been aware of these issues. These are not new. Fines have been running on this property previously for years. And what Mr. Menendez and the company would do would outsource the work to, I guess, people in the community, and they weren't checking on it, which is his testimony as well. He's just spending money, but not making sure that it's actually being done. I've walked through some of these units. I've cited several individual units before, and he's been aware of this, and nothing has been done. So I understand for the past 45 days, he has spent some money, and he did paint, and I did give him credit for the things that he has done. But to extend it for another 60 days for something that, that's been going on for years, I think it's a bit excessive.
Let me ask about the garbage can placement. Is the city?
Yeah, even though he put the enclosures there, they are not putting the garbage behind where it needs to be. Even yesterday when I went back to do a final inspection before today's date, the actual tenants, they're taking their garbage can and they're putting it in front of other buildings across the street, which is in the last picture, you will see that they're now taking their cans and leaving it somewhere else. So the problem's still not being fixed. They need to remove it from the street. You have enclosures, that's what they need to be using. I don't know if the communication is not well with your tenants, but that's part of the problem as well. And again, it's been going on for years. This is nothing new.
If I may, there was no contract on the building. I don't even know what she's speaking about. There was a mortgage on the property. The mortgage was owned by an attorney. He was like a family member of mine. The gentleman got real sick. He assigned the mortgage to me. He started a foreclosure on the property. He passed away while it was going on. That case was closed out. I was dealing with his estate. Then his wife got really sick and ultimately passed away also. I hired a new attorney and foreclosed on the property, and I just took title 45 days ago. Prior to that, I had my hands were tied, very minimal management in it, because as the terms and the language in the mortgage, if he's not making the payments, I'm able to, and it took me a while to be able to get there, I'm able to take over rents and put that money aside, but I'm limited to certain things I can do and not do with judgment until I get title. I got title, and I've been putting all that money into the building.
You told me you've already done a lot of the work on the windows and doors. And
Yes, sir.
stuff. Okay.
All the windows and doors are operable. I put brand new screens, 32 screens, fixed 12 broken windows. I've built the enclosures. The only reason, I'm going to drive by the building now. I've been coming here for the past, I've been coming at least 2 to 3 times a week myself, so I am seeing the work done now. Prior, the other gentleman was still involved, the other owner. He was an owner. He wasn't leased or anything like that. He had a mortgage, and I foreclosed on it. So it wasn't like a title change or none of that. It was a foreclosure. And that's why, again, my hands were tied, and I couldn't do anything until I got proper title to the property.
Understood. Let me have one other question for the city. On 18103F, the stairway, what needs to be done for that to be brought into
Just
compliance?
I believe that's the 708 building, like we talk about as far as safety, just putting more sticks there just to ensure that if anybody in the upstairs are walking down, nobody's falling through. That's really what's left to be done with that one.
That's the 716 building.
Oh, 716 building.
You say you've already done that?
No, I did. I never heard about that one until the other day. 708, I did add the sticks and to the front, and the rear only had the top railing, which a lot of buildings have it. That's a building from the 20s. A lot of them are like that. I thought it was grandfathered in. They still told me, and I understand them, it's a safety issue, anybody can fall. We did it to those 2 buildings. The other building has 2 sticks running vertical, and they want more, so I'm gonna run 2 more vertical so nobody can slide through.
Does that require a permit?
I don't believe so.
I don't believe so, not to add on unless you rip.
We can always double check, but I don't believe so.
Okay. Anything else from anybody?
That is all.
All right, then I am going to find in this case proper notice, respondent is present, and the notice was also hand-delivered. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find that the property has complied with 18106G regarding paint, 34102B regarding the inoperative vehicles, 94442E regarding the swale and parkway area being sodded. I will find that the property remains in violation of the remaining sections that were cited in the notice and as appear on the agenda. But based on it, and I understand respondents asking for additional time, but the remaining violations and based on what's already been done, it seems to me that this can be done within 30 days. So I am going to grant the city's request. I'll allow an additional 30 days for compliance to be achieved. Thereafter, daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved on the garbage can placement, 7434A1J. All we're talking about is putting the garbage cans away correctly.
Yeah.
So I am going to allow only 10 days for that. It's not, you don't have to build anything, and they just have to be put away correctly. So that is my order in this case. Thank you very much.
Is there an additional fine for the garbage can?
Same 10 days, $200 per day.
We'll get the order in the mail.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I have for contested matters signed in.
We have no other respondents present? You want to take a 5-minute break?
We can.
Well, let's take 5 and come back at 10:40.
Which I brought up in my conversation with her yesterday. She said, no, that was the tenant. I was actually familiar with that incident. I didn't bring everything I had.
No.
There, so it's one of those things that they're updating the next part of the application.
Okay, yeah, it showed the
Okay, right now, yeah.
So I must have done it before, okay.
Because I forgot this morning, clock went off. Assume you're familiar with her as well?
Hmm? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly,
Which I didn't bring today because I didn't need to.
right. But more than not being a victim.
50 minutes at the restaurant. At one point she said, this is, she's a Christian. First thing you said in this conversation, I completely agree with. She and her son run very successful businesses.
we on?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right, let's go ahead and go back on the record. It's 10:40. Where are we?
Number 2 is rescheduled, 709 Sunset Road, E CE 190404220. Number 3 is rescheduled, 818 Lytle Street, E CE 190404443. Number 6, 949 Upland Road, E CE 190303227.
Complied.
It's complied. Number 7, 332 Walton Boulevard, E CE 190300375. We'll skip that one for now. Number 11 is complied, 730 41st Street, CE 190400341. Number 12, 636 42nd Street, CE 190400347. Number 12, 636 42nd Street.
Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. Property 636 42nd Street was cited on 4/18/19. Certified mail was sent on 4/22/19. We do have a signed certified mail receipt on file. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted on 4/22/19. Property was cited for 18-106A, clean and sanitary, 18-162-A rental license, 22-32-A certificate of use, and 34-102-A junk and or inoperable vehicles maintained on the property, and 34-35-3 prohibited noises. There was a dog being maintained there at the property that was chained up, that was barking excessively, even if cars drove by or people walked by and so forth.
Heard the dog?
Yes.
Go by?
Yes, it was actually, it looked like a pit bull, and he looked pretty vicious to me, so I was very careful with him. It was also cited for 54-262, clothes hanging ordinance, 74-34-A-1-J, garbage can placement, 94-442-C-1, landscaping areas requiring sod, and 94-482-A, parking of vehicles onto unpaved parking, 94-485-A, storage of inoperable vehicles, and 94-71-C, outdoor storage. As of last evening, the following sections have complied: 18-162-A, 22-32-A, 34-35-3. The dog is no longer there. I don't know where he is, whether they moved him or they, muzzled him, whatever, but he wasn't there. And also 54-262 has complied. I've had several conversations with the property manager. She indicated that they do have an individual who they have since hired to start making some corrections to the property. I did note on last evening that a gentleman was there upon my arrival. He was making some corrections. There was there was a big pile out front with a bunch of stuff that he had removed from the property. He was doing some other aesthetics there. And so I did indicate to them that those things are all good, and I was going to request an additional 30 days or a fine of $150 per day be imposed.
All right. Is there anybody here on behalf of the respondent? For the record, there are no respondents in the room. We just have city staff, it appears. So if anybody does come in for a case, let me know so we can swear them in, but we do not have any respondents present at this point. I will find proper service in this case, though, with the certified mail and the posting in the file. Based on the testimony, I'll find the property has complied with 18-162A, 22-32A, 34-35, 54-262 and 54-262, but remains in violation of the other violations cited in the notice and as that appear on today's agenda. I will allow an additional 30 days for those remaining violations to be brought into compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $150 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Back to number 7, 332 Walton Boulevard, CE 19030375.
Give me just a second. Okay. Cassandra St. Hilaire, presenting for Code Officer Richard Pazmino. This property was cited back on March 28th. Certified mail was signed for on April 5th, and the property was posted April 2nd. The property was cited for rental license violation and certificate of use. I've had no contact with the property owner. At this time, the city is requesting 30 days or $200 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. I do find proper notice with the certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, find the property remains in violation of City Code Sections 18162A and 2232A. I'll grant the additional 30 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 11 is complied, 730 41st Street, CE 19040341. Number 14 is complied, 1001 Avon Road, CE 19040561. Number 15, 917 Alamanda Road, CE 19040564.
Good morning, Richard Paget, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on April 29th, 2019 for 18-162-A rental license and 22-32-A certificate of use. Service was accomplished by certified mail being sent on May 1st, 2019 and signed for, in addition to posting the property in City Hall on May 16th, 2019. The property, I have had contact with the property owner, and they did make an application for their rental license and certificate of use. However, the property failed a zoning inspection as there's an additional third unit behind the duplex that the city has records showing that it was a storage unit, and it's now a livable rented space. The property owner is going to have to most likely evict their tenants and go through the process of pulling permits to render the unit back as it should be. Therefore, the city is requesting an additional 180 days for the property to pass all inspections and obtain their rental license and certificate of use, or fine in the amount of $200 per day.
All right. I do find proper service in this case with the certified mail and the posting. I find, based on the testimony, the property is in violation of City Code Sections 18162A and 2232A. I'll grant the city's request, allow 180 days for compliance, given what they have to do to bring it into compliance, and thereafter daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed for each day compliance goes beyond the 180.
Number 16, 847 Selkirk Street, CE 19050009.
Richard Paget, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on May 1st, 2019 for 18-103-B, repair roof, walls, or foundation, 18103J, exterior paint, 18106K, landscape maintenance, 7894C, swells and parkways, 94302A4, fence, wall maintenance, and 94442C1, landscape areas. The property has complied with 18106K and 94442C1, as they have installed sod in the front and side yards. I have had contact with a translator for the owner, and I've been made aware that the property owners indicated they're experiencing a financial hardship. They're stating that they had interior damage that was caused by a storm that damaged the roof and caused a lot of interior leaking. And I've checked, they do have open permits with the city for doing work inside, and they stated that it's caused their funds to not be able to take care of the outside at this time. Since they have made the effort and fixed the landscaping, The city is going to ask for an additional 180 days to come into compliance with all of the violations that are still outstanding, or a fine in the amount of $100 per day.
All right, I do find proper notice in this case. I find, based on the testimony and evidence, that the property has complied with 18106K and 94442C1 regarding the landscaping, but remains in violation of the 18103B and J, 7894C, and 94302A4. Grant the city's request, allow an additional 180 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed.
Thank you.
Number 18427 52nd Street, CE 19040346.
Joe Petrick, West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This case in reference to a single-family residence that was issued a notice of violation via certified mail and posted on April 19th for renting a house for an Airbnb without a rental license and for having an expired roof permit. The permit expired in mid-2018. The notice of violation gave the respondent 7 days to obtain a rental license and 15 days to renew the roof permit to complete the work on the roof. While posting the property on April 19th, I spoke with the homeowner, who stated he would contact his contractor to renew the permit and he would complete the roof work. While discussing the Airbnb rental, the respondent stated he would cease rental and complete an affidavit of non-rental to submit to our office. He said he submitted in a couple of days. Unfortunately, it never happened. As of today, the property remains in violation of both code sections. The roof permit was never renewed. It looks the same yesterday as it did a couple of months back, and no rental license has been obtained. The city is asking for compliance within 15 days or a $100 a day fine be assessed.
All right, I will find proper notice with the certified mail and the posting. I'll find, based on the evidence and testimony, that the property remains in violation of City Code Sections 104.512 and 18162A. I will grant the city's request, allow an additional 15 days for the property to be brought into compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 22 is complied, 1769 North Congress Avenue, CE 1904043. Number 24, 5660 North Military Trail, CE 190300062.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement, 5660 North Military Trail, was cited for prohibited trees, plant installation, landscape maintenance, and mulch required. Cited this case on March the 5th. Also posted the property May 22nd, and certified mail was received and signed for April 24th. Contact was made with management of this property, and they need additional 30 days to comply. So I'm asking 30 days or $100 a day thereafter.
And this is all for trees and landscaping?
Yes.
Do we have pictures of the violations?
Got to remove stakes off of some of the trees, and mulch, more mulch required to be replaced on the property. That's it. Okay. On that picture. For some reason the pictures are not there.
All right, no, so give me some more detailed testimony on what the violations.
Yeah, it came from our arborist at the city of West Palm Beach. He noticed that this place had the trees that's staked for years, and they need to remove those wooden stakes off the trees, as well as an invasive plant that need to be removed, and the mulch, the beds need to be remulched. So contact was made with the management, and they're in the process of doing that.
So there was one invasive tree that had to be removed?
Yes.
And there was a tree with old support
Stakes,
stakes.
it's
that
still
need to be
stakes still in
removed.
there for years.
And there was a missing tree that had to be replaced, and they had to add mulch.
Yes.
Okay. And that you've had contact and they're working.
Yes,
All right.
contact.
I will find proper notice in this case with the certified mail and the posting based on the testimony. I will find property remains in violation of 94-446, 1E, 2A, and 4-I. I'll allow the additional 30 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day.
Number 25, 801 North Point Parkway, 58, CE 190300378.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement, 801 North Point Parkway, was cited as a business license, and the business tax receipt did expire last year, September 30th, so have not been renewed as of today. Cited the property March 28th, posted the property May 23rd, and certified mail was received and signed for April 26th. No contact with the owner of the business, so I'm asking 10 days to comply, or $100 a day thereafter.
Well, let me ask on this, the BTR violation, is that not just a one-time fine
This is a renewal.
under 205, Chapter 205? So that wouldn't be a daily fine. That would, you just want so you're asking for a one-time $100?
I think on renewals, we do $100 a day and then we run the fine. That's my understanding of the renewals. The one time it was for the new business tax. Well, I stand corrected. I was just told it's one-time fine,
$250 or?
And how much are you asking for?
$100.
I'll grant that. We'll find the proper service in this case. I'll find, based on the evidence, that there is a violation of 82-144 and assess the one-time fine of $100 per day. $100.
Thank you.
Number 26, 801 North Point Parkway, 58 CE 190303880.
Don Williams again. It's going to be the same business, same owner. 801 North Point Parkway. I cited the property March 28th. Certified mail mailed out April 26th and posted May 23rd. No contact with the business owner, so I'm asking 10 days or the one-time fine of $100.
All right, I do find proper notice with the certified mail and posting. Based on the evidence, I will find a violation of 82-144 and assess the one-time daily fine of $100.
Thank you, sir.
Number 28 is complied. 801 North Point Parkway, Breeze Beauty Loan, CE 190400050. Magistrate, do you want to continue or should?
And did we do number 27?
No, number 27 is complied. I'm sorry. 580 Village Boulevard, 315, CE 190303889.
28's complied. So do we have, did you want to jump to the
11 o'clock?
Yeah, we can do that. That's. Pardon?
Y'all want to do 29 and 30?
I'll go wherever you guys want to go. That doesn't matter to me.
How many cases does he have? He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cases, so probably the 11 o'clock.
All right, so let's jump to the 11 o'clock agenda. Other matters. Looks like we have 4 requests for fine reduction.
If I can get to them, yes. First case roll call. Oh, they might need to be sworn in.
Yeah. If you're going to be speaking to me about any of these matters that we're about to get into, items 1 through 4 on the 11 o'clock agenda, and I haven't already placed you under oath from earlier in the morning, I will need to swear you in. So if you'll please stand and raise your right hands if you're going to be speaking to me. Thank you. Do each of you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony this morning will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Thank you. You can have a seat. And
Number 2, 4007 Windsor Avenue, CE 180804060. Number 2, 4007 Windsor Avenue.
And come on up when your case is called to this podium to my right. Okay.
Case ending in 460 for 4007 Windsor. Let me start over. Mitch Posner, Code Enforcement. Case ending in 460 for 4007 Windsor. Date order 10/3 of 18. Fine started 12/2 of 18. Ran for 67 days. Total $6,700. $100 a day. Date of compliance 2/7 of 19. This is the same owner. This was a permit issue. the property was cited on 8/27. They applied for the permit approximately 7 days later, but it wasn't issued till January. They never checked to see if the permit was approved or anything. I do notice on their application, they were saying they didn't receive the notice, but service was due and proper, sent to the address listed with the county. City's asking for 30%.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am, let me hear from the respondent. Why don't you tell me your name and address, please?
Yes, my name is Dolores Bryant, and I have a heavy case. As of November, my husband went into from St. Mary's to Palm Garden, from Palm Garden to now Crest Haven. So before that, we had a case of, a heavy case. I don't even want to speak of the case, but it was a heavy case, and it was where no one could go to the house, just him. So I wasn't able to answer to the letter. Once they sent the letter out, I did respond to let her know when I got the mail that the property had problems. But at the time, I was from motel to motel because I was not allowed on the property, and neither was my children, just my husband. So after assault case went up in November, we went to court. He went from there to a nursing home. So our bills were paid together with his check and my part-time job. I'm part-time at St. Mary's. I don't make a lot of money. So when I seen that, my head just blew off. I'm like, I don't have this kind of money. I actually do not. And I don't want to have to depend on my children to say I need to make this payment to the city, because that's not going to happen for me.
Okay, let me ask, does the city have any sense for what its out-of-pockets were on this case?
I didn't know if you're asking me or...
Either, whoever.
There were only a couple of inspections. Inspection fees covered that as far as the lien reduction itself goes. As far as the original case goes, the fine was on the permit issue, which didn't really require access to the property. They would have had to just find out why the permit failed. So the city cost would have been minimal in that case.
Okay. All right, is there anything else either of you'd like to tell me before I make a decision?
I just plead my mercy above, that's all, to God, because that's the only thing I can do. Just come down and let you all just help me to get this case over with, because it's been going for a while. And as I said, I have a heavy case as of November 18 last year, and I'm still not over it.
If I reduce this fine to $670, how long would it take you to pay that? Can you do that in 60 days?
Absolutely not, sir. I work part-time. 6 hours is all I work. And no way I could get that paid.
Well, I'm trying to do the best I can for you.
I understand.
can't, so
I would need I would need more time.
how much time do you think you would need?
This is June. Could it go over in next year, possibly?
You do $100 a month for this, for each of the months?
I would definitely have to get funds for my kids, but I just have to accept it.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to trying to
I understand. I appreciate
accommodate,
it.
you know, I understand your situation.
Yeah.
The city did have minimal expenses in this that in my opinion, they're entitled to be made whole. I'm willing to give you as much reasonable time as possible to do that.
Sir, we've gone as much as 9 months before, and the city certainly has no objection to that.
So,
Okay.
so if we did June, I have no problem going 9 months either.
Thank you.
So why don't we say 9 months? What did I say? $670?
Yes.
Yeah. To be paid within 9 months.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ms. Bryant? Number 3, other matters, 1254 Okeechobee Road, CE 18090346.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Case ending in 346, 1254 Okeechobee Road, date ordered 11/7/18, fine started 12/7/18, ran for 91 days, total $9,100 at $100 a day, date of compliance 3/8/19. Same owner, there's not actually any mitigating factors on the application itself. City's asking for 30%.
All right. Yes, sir.
Hi, good morning. Do I have any time limit?
Well, tell me your name and address first.
My name is John Pinkowski. I reside at 701 South Olive Avenue, West Palm Beach, and my business address is 415 South Olive Avenue, West Palm Beach.
There's not like a 3-minute rule or anything like this, like public comment at a council meeting, but I'm not going to let you go all day either. So
That's understandable.
Let's just tell me what's going on and why you're asking for the reduction.
Sure. So I own the property on the corner of Mercer and Okeechobee Road in the Warehouse District, the Jefferson Terminal District. And I'm here today with my contractor, Mr. George Montero, and my colleague who works with me, Miss Dana Murray. Miss Murray helps me manage the property, pay taxes, and everything like that. First of all, I'd like to say that we respect the authority of the city and this tribunal. I understand that we have to follow the rules, and we respect why we're here today. And we support the city's work in keeping the Jefferson Terminal District clean. With that said, we have followed the rules, and I'm asking the magistrate to eliminate the $9,100 fine for the following reasons. I was contacted by an enforcement officer, Mr. Murphy. And when Mr. Murphy originally contacted me, he complained of some graffiti on my buildings. I literally personally went down to Home Depot on Palm Beach Lakes the next day and painted over the graffiti myself. Mr. Murphy then raised some other concerns with me. I hired my contractor, Mr. Montero, who's done work for me in my office building downtown. We immediately put a plan together to deal with Mr. Murphy's comments, called Mr. Murphy back, spoke with him. Mr. Murphy said, great, you're going to do this, fix the paving, pull a permit. Mr. Montero is a licensed contractor. He did pull a permit. So the purpose of my testimony is to demonstrate we were communicating with Mr. Murphy. We immediately took action plans, and we remedied it. Magistrate, something about that warehouse district area is the garbage isn't my garbage. People dump on it. We do have a few homeless people in the area. We don't want the garbage on my property either. There were tires there. I don't own a tire shop. It's warehouse space, office space. There was some blue canister. Wasn't our canister, wasn't from the prior owner. We got rid of it all right away. Personally, I spent over $9,000 remedying in everything that Mr. Murphy and the other enforcement officer said. I have the receipts here today, and Mr. Montero and Ms. Murray would be happy to testify if you believe that's necessary. But we spent a lot of money cleaning it up, getting rid of stuff. We had to get rid of the tires with a special disposal company. We took actions right away. We spent a lot of money. I've described to you what occurred. After we spoke with Mr. Murphy about this, we were contacted by another code enforcement officer. We started having communications with that code enforcement officer, and he said, hey, there's all these new violations that I've identified that Mr. Murphy had not. We said, fine, we'll fix them all, totally respect your authority, and we immediately took steps and actions to remedy all of those. So here's the short of it, is we've done everything the city has asked us to do. I respectfully view the $9,100 as punitive, right? It's punishing me for being a good citizen for things I didn't do on the property, and the whole area does look better. That concludes my remarks, unless the magistrate wants to hear any corroborating evidence from the witnesses or any of the documents.
Well, first of all, you wouldn't be here if the property hadn't been brought completely into compliance, so I have no doubt about anything that you told me.
Thank you.
I don't need to hear additional testimony. I have a question for the city. How much time was there in the order finding violation before the fines kicked in?
The original hearing gave 30 days, sir.
Okay. All right. And then it went 91 days after.
And that was 2 months after it was first cited.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
The city, of course, does not dispute whether or not the property was fixed up, as you stated. Couldn't be here today if it hadn't been fixed up.
Yeah, no,
the additional officer they spoke with was during the lien reduction process, saying you can't go to the hearing until you fix these violations. So they certainly did all that. The city's certainly not arguing that we should receive $9,100 in total. 30% is pretty much standard in a case where it's the same owner and there's no other exacerbating factors.
I really wish I hadn't seen that last picture. It's my IT guy. InfoStream is my...
Was it a naughty picture?
No, it's the name of my IT company that does my computer work at my office.
Well, the morning's young. And I'm grateful to the city for working with property owners. $2,700 I view as respectfully as punitive. I mean, that's the 30%. I mean, if you guys want to bang me for a few $100s, look, I don't think I'm the citizen who should be getting banged. I'm playing by the rules and doing everything. I'm proud to live in West Palm Beach. I own my businesses in West Palm Beach. I haven't griped about paying my taxes or what my neighbors' lots look like. And you know, I hope that, you know, all citizens and property owners would have a good rapport with the city so that we're not being punished for playing by the rules.
Okay, no, I get it. Here's what I'm going to do in this case. And, you know, just so that you understand, when I look at these, I look at the value of the property, I look at the nature of the violations, I look at how much went into bringing it into compliance, whether it's residential or commercial. All of those things are factors that I look at when I'm doing this. So, all that said, I will agree to reduce this from $9,100 down to $1,500, payable within 30 days.
Payable to the city of West Palm Beach?
I'm sure they can tell you
Yes,
how
sir.
to make out the check.
And where do we mail the check?
The instructions are on the order, sir.
And will I be handed one today, or is that
Yes.
mailed? Okay, thank you.
All right. And for the record, the fact that InfoStream is a tenant had nothing to do with my decision. That was just tongue-in-cheek.
Number 1 and other matters, 412 42nd Street, CE 16030355, 412 42nd Street.
Go ahead.
Case ending in 355 for 412 42nd Street. Date order 12/7 of 16, fine started 1/10 of 17, number of days 413, total 41,300 at $100 a day. Date of compliance 2/27 of 18. Same owner. There's no mitigating factors in this case. The application states that the existing violation predated their ownership, but they were the owner at the time the violation was made, when they purchased the property. The violation is actually their own for work without permits, and the culpability is 100%.
This says plumbing, electric, and structural permits?
Yes, sir. It was a building
That was
division
my
case.
fault on the application, and I apologize for that.
Okay, well, I understand.
Yeah, I
But
thought it was a
that still
code.
leaves us with no mitigating factors for this. In addition, there was a chronic nuisance case on this property at time of purchase, and it wasn't until
Was a what?
chronic nuisance case that remained in violation until 2 years later when they applied for this lien reduction and finally submitted an adequate action plan, having the city manage the property for all that time. The city's asking for 50%.
All right, let me hear from the respondent. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Bernadine Jones. I'm here for the owner of the property. Yeah, I'm sorry about the application. I thought it was actually a code, but I didn't know it was work without permits until about 2 months ago, and then I looked at the file, so I apologize for putting that in. I thought it was for an actual code violation. Dragonfly Homes, when they did purchase this, they did pull permits within the first few months. They had a contractor on there, I'm sure, I don't know if you guys work with him, John Sienna. He has since been fired. He was the project manager for them for a few years, and they bought several homes at once in West Palm, and he was doing a lot of work, and he decided to do work without permits. I do have all the permits and that were pulled. Peter Nunez, I have all the stuff. He did get them started right in April of 2016. He pulled but it took him a while because we had a master permit for the framing. We had to do windows. The property needed all new windows. It needed a new roof. It needed new framing. The electrical work alone was $9,000 for this property to be redone. They gave money, I think it was like $42,000 to one contractor, the one that John Sienna was working with. They didn't finish it off. So Peter Nunez was brought in. I do have all the permits, and it was a process, and they were getting it done. I don't know why they didn't work on the chronic nuisance, because the property was in compliance. But again, this guy, John Sienna, that was working on the property with them as a project manager, just wasn't doing his job. And like I said, he has since been let go from there, and they have all their properties in compliance. And they actually have this property. They did a rental license about a year ago. It's rented out. The property looks great, and they apologized. They bought it for like $90,000. They had to put over $60,000 into this at the end of the day between paying one contractor and having to go on to the next to get the permitting complete with the correct electrical work done.
Okay.
So they're probably close to $200,000 into this property already.
Okay, I have a question, Mr. Poston. Tell me about the chronic nuisance piece. Was that a different owner, or was that the same owner?
The case did not, the chronic nuisance case did not start with them.
Okay.
But they were sent the standard required, change of owner, action plan required. Excuse me. More than one attempted contact was made to get an action plan over the last 2 years, basically. Until this came up with Ms. Jones' diligence, getting an action plan to us. But prior to the lien reduction process, no, nothing.
Okay.
Once they let John go, they honestly didn't know what to do. That guy, they gave him way too much power, honestly, and he was, I even tried contacting him for this, and he was terrible. I just wanted to talk to him about what he did at the beginning. He wouldn't even speak to me on things that he did. He's like, I'm not going to be held accountable. I'm like, but you were. I said, can we just talk about what your timeline was? So when I go in there, and he refused to even, he just shut me down. So
Well, I understand what they're...
Yeah, and I understand where you're at. I do. It's just, it stinks that they, got this guy and they put him way too much power in his hands to take care of, multiple properties. And he decided to do permitting on some, because he did pull the permit for the windows, if you see, like early on, to do all new windows. He pulled that, but then he picked and chose of what he was going to do permits on. So here we are.
Sure. I was actually at one time, the chronic nuisance officer on this case, not the originating officer. As I remember, this property, which we verified was fixed at this point, this was a house structure being held up on cinder blocks at the time I inherited that case. So made every effort when it changed hands to try and get an action plan, try and get the property in compliance. Numerous times there was contact in person when an inspection happened to be at the same time they were at the property.
I have the full plans here because, it literally had to build essentially a new house, like you said, because this house was
No, I
They
mean-
purchased it, it was, it was not livable, obviously. It should have possibly been condemned. And, but they had this house, and I think this guy, this project manager, was in over his head, and he probably, he's done like work, like, painting, put a new kitchen and things like that, but then you put this kind of thing in somebody's hand that isn't experienced, and we had to get the experienced person in, and Peter Nunez came in. I got the plans here, I got all his permits he pulled, and they paid him to get it done correctly, and they're not even trying to sell the house. They reached out to me to say, hey, let's get this lien taken care of. It's not like they're trying to sell it. It came up on a lien search or anything. They have it rented out. They plan on keeping it. They have a great tenant in there, and they're just going to keep it with the guy. His name is Norman, I think, the tenant. And they're just going to let him continue to rent it out at this point. So it's not like they're trying to sell it. They're actually probably upside down to even sell it with what they owe and everything. So they're just going to hold on to it and collect rent.
All right.
But bottom line, and I certainly understand everything she's saying, bottom line is they're responsible for who they hire. It was permit issues. All they had to do was get permit approval, and that took 413 days.
Okay.
Well, the permits were pulled in 2016. I have them. I have the permit from Peter Nunez. I don't know if I'm looking at something different. On 12/16/2016, I have a permit that was pulled. I have one on 12/29/2015 and 2/9/16 that the permits were started. I pulled these right from your guys' site.
Verify with the inspector that this didn't.
Yeah, but I think it was just a
pass into
process of getting
compliance
then the
until
stuff
2018.
done. So they did hire Peter Nunez on right away within like a couple months of figuring out what was going on behind the scenes, and they brought him in. And because I spoke to Peter this morning as well, he was going to come, but he couldn't make it. Just to say, yeah, they did bring him on. His permitting process took well over a year between going through inspections and getting stuff done. And the money financially, they were out a lot of money, so they had to put money, and find more money to put into this project because they were out money from a contractor and a project manager that walked away. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Based on everything I've heard in this case, I will agree to reduce this to $10,000 payable within 30 days.
Can they have 60, please?
60 days, no objection. Yeah,
Thank
we'll do
you.
60 days. Okay. Thank you. One more.
Next, case number 4, 3800 Windsor Avenue, CE 18110266. Don't believe they were sworn in. I'm not sure.
Were you folks placed under oath when I swore everybody in earlier?
I'm sorry?
Were you placed under oath? Would I swear you in with everybody else when?
Well, good.
No.
Okay. Go ahead and raise your right hand, please.
All right.
Are you going to be speaking as well, ma'am? Yeah. Do you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Case ending in 266 3800 Windsor Avenue, date ordered 1/16 of 19, fine started 3/18 of 19, ran for 29 days, total $2,900, daily fine of $100, date of compliance 4/16 of 19. It's the same owner. The only mitigating factors on the application was lack of awareness and that they didn't receive notice, but it was sent certified mail to the property listed with the county, to the address listed with the county. City's asking for 30%.
Thanks. All right. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. My name is Ada, owner of the property 3800 Windsor Avenue. My husband over here. We bought the house on the beginning of November. We moved. We didn't know that we had to have some permit before doing the get the property on better shape. When we moved, we had some issue on the patio, like insects, some other animal going inside the house. We have a child. She's 6 years old right now.
Oh.
We had some notification. We spoke with Miss Natalie. We told her that we took the grass out because we had some insect out in the patio, but we was gonna put it back.
The thing is that we didn't know that we had to have some permit to put fence, have a little bit of privacy on the property. When she told me we stop as soon as possible, right away, all the job, anything, any job. So we start applying for a permit. Every time that I have to apply for a permit, there was something like new. I'm first time buyer house. We didn't know how it worked. We come here every single, pretty much on my day off, I was here trying to get some information, try to do the right way. After I submit the permit, like I said, it was something like new every single time. I feel like I waste a little bit of time. If I could have known everything how I was supposed to do it, I could have saved a little bit of time and try not to have this bill that I have right now on. So after I apply all few time on my permit, finally I got it approved, got my inspection done, but my main thing, it was the fence. They told me everything was good, had some issue with the planner, how specific, how high it was the fence. The only thing that I waste my time a little bit, it was the easement. I didn't know I had to have an easement sign for the fence. On one of my property side, I had to went to the FBL, Comcast, AT&T to get a sign. The one that took a little bit longer, it was the FBL. Finally, I had a call because I tried to went on the office, but nobody responded. Actually, the information that you guys have in the easement on paper, that person, Jonathan Nunez, I believe is his name, he never responded my email, calls, anything. So I had a call to a customer service with FPL. Finally, I spoke with somebody else. She helped me by emails. I sent her the easement. I tried to explain my situation, that I was trying to get a permit. Like I said, I didn't know I had to get a permit before I start doing all my work on the property. We stopped. We tried to do it the right way. Like tried to have all the permit approved, pay it before it was any response, like if it was approved or denied, we pay everything. We're just trying to have a reduction on this bill that we have right now with the city. I think the property is way different compared to when we buy it. We didn't try to do it like on a wrong way, or we're just trying to get a better look on the property and for the safety of our daughter. I think you had the new picture from the property. You can see the difference, how it looked before and now.
All right. Anything else from the city on this one?
No, sir, city effort was minimal in this case. 30% is the standard recommendation for same owner.
All right. Based on everything I've heard, I'll agree to reduce this fine to $500. How long will it take you to pay that?
I'm sorry, what?
$500. How long will it take you to pay that?
Okay.
You do that in 60 days?
En 60 días.
I'm gonna do it now.
Can we do it now? Any way
you
to
want to pay
pay
it today? Yeah, you can.
Yes.
I'm asking if you need more time, though.
No, perfect. If we can do it now, I'll do it now.
Okay. We'll pay that today. Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Was the order itself 60 days?
I'm gonna pay now.
For a safety valve, just, go ahead and put that on, but it sounds like they're going to pay it today, so.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
You need those? All right.
I don't know where we are, but I'll find
Where
it.
are we?
29.
Back to the 9 o'clock agenda.
Number 29, CE 19040244, 407 Huron Place.
Good morning. City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On April 11th, the property at 407 Huron Place was cited for failure to secure building permits, inspections required, rental license violation, and certificate of use. The property was posted on April 16th, 2019. Certified mail was sent April 12th, 2019. Certified mail was returned May 20th, 2019. I have been in constant contact with the property owner. He has since put an application for the rental license and the permits. He's only awaiting the building inspections and the code inspection for the rental. So with that in consideration, city's recommending 30 days to come into compliance or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
All right, I do find proper service based on the evidence and testimony. I do find violations exist for 105.1, 110.1, 18162A, and 2232A. I will grant the city's request. Allow an additional 30 days for compliance to be achieved and thereafter assess daily fines of $200 per day.
Number 30, 413 North Ware Drive, CE 190400251.
Paul McFarland, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer. On April 11th, the property at 413 North Ware was cited for landscape, requires sod, and unpaved parking. The property was posted May 2nd. Certified mail was sent April 12th. Certified mail was received April 15th. I have had no contact with the property owner. As of Monday, the property has come into compliance with the unpaved parking, but no sod has been installed on the property. Taking that into consideration, city is recommending 30 days to come into compliance or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
All right, I do find proper notice with certified mail and the posting. So they complied with 94482A is the one that's...
Yes, unpaved parking.
All right, and then, but I will, based on the testimony, you can find the property remains in violation of 94442C1. Allow an additional 30 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day.
Number 31, 112 South Robbins Drive, CE 190400405.
Paul McFarland, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer. On April 20th, the property at 112 South Robbins Drive was cited for obstruction of right-of-way, landscape and swale, sod needed, trash can placement, unpaved parking, and prohibited vehicle. Property was posted May 2nd, 2019. Certified mail was sent April 24th. Certified mail was returned May 20th. I've had no contact with the property owner. As of Monday, the property has come into compliance with the prohibited vehicle, the unpaved parking, the trash can placement. The only violations that still remain are the sodding of the swale and the obstruction of right-of-way. Taking that into consideration, city's recommending 30 days to come into compliance or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. I will find proper notice in this case. I will find property that has complied with 7434A1J, 94482A, and 94487B1, but remains in violation of 781 regarding obstructing the right-of-way and 94442E regarding landscaping of the swale in the parkway. I'll allow an additional 30 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed.
Number 32, 312 Baker Drive, CE 1905022.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On May 9th, the property at 312 Baker Drive was cited for inoperative vehicle, garbage can placement, safe egress, fence repair, and outdoor storage. Property was posted May 10th, 2019. Certified mail was sent May 13th. Certified mail was returned May 15th. I've had no contact with the property owner. As of Monday, the property has come in compliance with the outdoor storage, but the fence repair still remains, the safe egress still remains, the trash can placement still remains, and the inoperative vehicle still remain. Taking that into consideration, the city is recommending 10 days to come into compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Got it. All right, I do find proper notice in this case. Based on the testimony, I find the property has complied with 9471C, but remains in violation of the remaining code sections cited in the notice. As stated on the agenda, I will allow the additional 10 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day.
Number 33, 1512 45th Street, CE 19050363.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On May 17th, the property at 1512 45th Street was cited for clean and sanitary, trash and debris on the property, excessive growth, and landscape maintenance of the property. The property was posted May 17th, 2019. Certified mail was sent May 20th. I've had no contact with the property owner. The property has come into compliance, but not in a timely fashion. So taking that into consideration, city is recommending a finding of fact on this property.
All right, thank you. I do find proper notice. Based on the testimony, I will find that, when was compliance achieved?
Monday.
And that's beyond the date set in the notice of violation?
Yes, sir.
All right, then I will find the property was in violation of 18106A and B and K, but has come into compliance, but the compliance was not achieved within the time frame set forth in the notice of violation, so finding a fact is hereby made.
Thank you.
Number 34, 2000 North Congress Ave, 205, CE 19040071.
Good morning, Officer Luster, West Palm Code. This property was cited for renewal of rental license and certificate of use. Property was posted on 5/14/19. I'm asking for 10 days or $100 per day.
Did you also send out certified mail on this one?
Yes, sir, it was returned, rejected.
All right, then I will find proper notice. I will find, based on the evidence, violations remain of 18162A and 2232A. I'll grant the additional 10 days for compliance to be achieved, and thereafter daily fines of $100.
Thank you.
Number 35, 706 Executive Center Drive, 21, CE 19040209.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. This property was cited for renewal of rental license and certificate of use. Cert mail was signed on 4/12/19, posted on 5/14/19. I'm asking for 10 days or $100 per day.
Thank you. I will find proper notice with the certified mail and posting. Based on the testimony and evidence, I find violations remain of 18162A and 2232A. I'll grant the request for an additional 10 days to bring the property into compliance. Thereafter, daily fines will be assessed in the amount of $100 per day.
Thank you.
Number 36, 738 Executive Center Drive, 210, CE 19040210.
Comply.
Number 37, 437 Executive Center Drive, 107, CE 19040212.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. This property was cited for renewal of rental license and certificate of use. Property was posted on 5/14/19. I'm asking for 10 days or $100 per day after.
All right, and return certified
Cert mail was returned unsigned.
Thank you. I will find proper notice. I will find, based on the evidence and testimony, violations of 18162A and 2232A. I'll grant the request for an additional 10 days to bring the property into compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 38, 616 Clearwater Park Road, C804, CE 19040231.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. This property was cited for rental renewal of rental license and certificate of use. Cert mail was signed on 4/12/19. Property was posted on 5/13/19. I'm asking for 10 days or $100 per day after.
Thank you. I find proper notice with certified mail in the posting. I find, based on the evidence, violations of 18-162A and 2232A. I'll grant the request for an additional 10 days to bring the property into compliance, and thereafter daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 39 is complied.
Thank
2200
you.
Ware Drive, CE 19040476.
About halfway through, are we good to keep going, or? I'm good, as we, let's keep.
You said 2200 where?
It complied.
Right. Thank you.
Number 40, 105 South Narcissus Ave, set number 710, CE 19040529.
Good morning, Officer Levine, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited for failure to renew its business tax receipt. Property was posted on 5/7/2019. As of this morning, it's still out of compliance. The city is requesting a one-time fee of $250 be assessed, please, after.
How do we get notice on this?
The property was posted on 5/7, sorry. Certified mail wasn't, it's still in transit.
All right, I'll find proper notice. I'll find, based on the evidence, properties in violation of 82-143C and 82-144, and assess the one-time $250 fine.
Number 41, 1721 Belvedere Road, Burger King, CE 19040532.
This business was cited for failure to renew its business tax receipt and certificate of use. Certified mail was signed for on 5/1/2019. The city is requesting a one-time fee of $250 for the business tax, 82-144, and 10 days to come into compliance with 22-32A certificate of use, or $100 a day thereafter.
You said $250 on the BTR one time?
$250 on the BTR and $100 on the
Per day. Okay, I'll grant that. I do find proper notice with the certified mail. Based on the testimony, I'll find the property remains in violation of 2232A. I'll allow 10 days for the property to be brought into compliance with that violation. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed. I also find the property is in violation of 82-144 regarding business tax receipt, and will assess a one-time $250 fine for that one.
Number 42, 219 South Olive Avenue, PB back on the pack, CE 19040533.
This business was cited for failure to renew its business tax receipt and certificate of use. Certified mail was signed for on 5/2/2019. I've placed several calls to this business without a return phone call. The city is requesting a one-time fee of $250 for the business tax receipt and 10 days to come into compliance with the certificate of use, or $100 a day thereafter.
All right, thank you. I will find proper notice with the certified mail. I will find, based on the evidence and testimony, the property remains in violation of 2232A. For that violation, I'll allow 10 days to bring the property into compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed. I also find the property remains in violation of 82-144, failure to renew business tax, and I will assess the one-time fine of $250 for that one.
Number 43, 500 South Australian Avenue, number 648 Rhodes Holdings, CE 19040574.
This business was cited for failure to renew its business tax receipt. On 4/22, I spoke with a receptionist by the name of Patty, and she informed me that the business was going to be renewed. However, it hasn't been done. The business was posted on 5/9/2019. City is requesting a one-time fee of $250 be assessed.
Was there a certified mail returned as well?
Certified mail is in transit too, sir.
In transit, all right. All right, I will find proper notice and find the violations remain of 82-143C and 82-144. It's the same business tax?
Yes, sir.
A one-time fine of $250.
Number 44, 777 South Flagler Drive, 800 West, Law Offices of Morris & Morris, CE 19050010.
This business was cited for failure to renew its business tax receipt. Certified mail was signed for on 5/6/2019. Now, with this particular case and the following case, Mrs. Morris, who is a partner of Morris and Morris, she may be terminally ill. However, when I spoke with Mr. Morris, he never got back to me with whether I could go ahead and close the business tax or leave it open. So as such, it's still hanging out there without a response from Mr. Morris. So I decided to bring the case forward.
Okay.
I'll leave it at the discretion of the special magistrate as to whether we should assess a fine, dismiss it, or what. And the same goes for 45 too.
Well, at this time, the business is still operating?
The business tax is still operating, but I'm trying to get the email open. Because again, as Mr. Morris stated, he wasn't sure if his wife was going to return to work, and the business is still in limbo. But the business tax is still delinquent.
Well, was the business operating during the time period that this business tax receipt would have covered?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, in that case, I mean, it seems to me that I'll find the violation and assess the fine. If going forward they're not going to operate, then they won't have to pay in the future. But
okay.
So I will find proper notice with the certified mail, find the violation of 82-143C and 82-144, and assess the one-time fine of $250.
And number 45 goes along with that, 777 South Flagler Drive, 800 West, Mary Morris, CE 19050012.
Same situation?
Same situation, yes.
Same notice?
Same note, well, yeah, same notice.
All right, then same remedy. Find the violation and assess the one-time fine.
Thank you.
Number 46 is rescheduled, 319 Clematis Street, number 205, CE 19050015. Number 48, 1008 13th Street, CE 19050011.
Good afternoon. Officer Phil Cartwright, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property at 1008 13th Street was originally cited on May 1st of 2019 for clean and sanitary conditions, landscape maintenance, failure to comply, and overgrowth. Service was achieved by certified mail. The property was posted on May 1st of 2019, as well as City Hall. All violations are still current. The city is asking that the property come into compliance within 3 days or abatement.
This is the vacant lot?
Yes, sir.
Is that all that super high grass over there, part of it, to the right?
To the right? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I agree that that's a health, safety, and welfare concern. So I do find proper notice with the certified mail in the posting. I find the property remains in violation of 18106A and K, 18215B, and 744C3. Based on the testimony and evidence, I do find that the violations constitute a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. I'll allow property owner 3 days to comply. Thereafter, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate the violations, and assess the costs.
Number 49 is complied, 1129 21st Street, CE 19050037. Number 50, 2121 North Tamron Avenue, CE 19050047.
Officer Phil Cartwright, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The address at 2121 North Tamron Avenue was originally cited on May 2nd of 2019 for exterior paint, clean and sanitary condition, disposal of rubbish on the outside of the property, commercial container repair, for their garbage receptacle, address characters, outside storage, surface and painting and driveway and despair, and traffic control aids. Service was achieved by certified mail. The certified mail was actually sent on May 6th of 2019. The city is asking that the property come into compliance within 35 days or $500 a day per after.
On the traffic control aids, what do they have to do there? Is that striping the parking space?
Striping the parking lot. The traffic control aids are basically the driveway stops.
Oh,
the
okay.
bump
Okay.
stops. They don't have any of them, so they would need to get those put in place.
The numbering standards, they don't have an address out front? Is
No
it?
address characters. And then they also have to, the writing on the outside of the wall is part of one of the ordinances they have for, I guess, for murals and any kind of painting that you would actually put on the building of any kind of words. They would need a permit for that. They have not applied for that.
All right. I will find proper notice with the certified mail. I find the property remains in violation of all of the code sections cited in the notice as stated on the agenda. I will grant the city's request to allow an additional 35 days for the property to be brought into compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $500 per day will be assessed.
Number 51, 830 19th Street, CE 19050138.
Officer Phil Cartwright, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The address at 830 19th Street was originally cited on May 6th of 2019 for clean and sanitary conditions, failure to comply, landscape maintenance, hurricane hazard, and excessive overgrowth. Service was achieved by certified mail. The property was also posted on May 6th of 2019, as well as City Hall. All violations are still current. The city is asking that the property come into compliance within 3 days or abatement.
This again looks like a very overgrown vacant lot.
There's actually a homeless camp at the very back of it under a tree.
Even worse.
Yep.
Okay. I will find proper notice in this case. I will find the violations as cited in the notice of violation and as stated on today's agenda all remain based on the evidence and testimony. I find that clean and sanitary, the landscape maintenance, hurricane hazard, overgrowth all constitute a threat to public health, safety, and welfare. Allow the respondent 3 days to comply. Thereafter, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate the violations, and assess the costs.
Thank you.
Number 52, 904 19th Street, CE 19050139.
Officer Phil Cartwright, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The address at 904 19th Street was originally cited on May 6th of 2019 for repair and replace of exterior walls, also roof damage, exterior replacement of all windows and doors, exterior paint, clean and sanitary conditions, excessive overgrowth, landscape maintenance, failure to comply, clean up to the center of right of row, address characters, and also repair of the outside fencing. Service was achieved by certified mail. The property was posted on May 6th of 2019, as well as City Hall. All violations are still current. What the city is asking is for a split order on this one. So for violations, for ordinances for 18103B, 18103E, and 18103J, we're asking for those things to come into compliance within 20 days or $200 per day. Every day that it's not, and as for the remaining ordinances, we're asking that those be taken care of within 5 days or abatement.
This is nobody's living in there, are they?
No, sir.
Are you asking for abatement on the numbering standard address character section?
No, sir, just everything that pertains to overgrowth and
Yes.
vegetation.
Okay. All right, I do find proper notice with certified mail in the posting. However, I also find that 18106A and B and K along with 18215B, 744C5, and 943024. Based on the evidence, all those violations clearly constitute a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. For 18103 B, E, and J, and 786, I'll allow 20 days for the property to be brought into compliance. Daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed thereafter. For the remaining case the code sections 18106 A, B, and K, 18215B, 744C5, and 943024, I will allow 5 days for compliance. Thereafter, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate the health, safety, welfare violations, and assess the costs.
Thank you.
Number 53, 1451 North Magonia Circle, CE 190504447.
Officer Phil Cartwright, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The address at 1451 North Magonia Circle was originally cited on May 23rd of 2019 for clean and sanitary conditions, landscape maintenance, failure to comply, clean up the center right of row, and obstruction of trees and hedges. Service was achieved by certified mail. The property was posted on May 20th of 2019, as well as City Hall. There has been no contact with the owner at all. All violations are still current. The city is asking that the property come into compliance within 3 days or $100 a day per after. Actually, correction, Special Magistrate, 3 days or abatement.
This looks like this is another vacant lot that's very overgrown.
Yes, sir.
So I agree that, first, there's proper notice. Second, that the violations of 106A and K and 18215B, 744C4, and 744C5 all do exist on the property and rise to the level of being a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. I will allow 3 days for the respondent to comply. Thereafter, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate the health, safety, welfare violations, and assess the costs.
Thank you.
Number 54, 641 6th Street, CE 1904038.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on April 5th. Certified mail was signed for on April 10th. In addition, the property and City Hall were posted also on April 10th. The property was cited for repairing roof walls and foundation, external doors and windows, clean and sanitary, fence and wall maintenance, paint, garbage litter, and refuse. I've had contact with the property owner. The property has complied with 1816G, 74-4A3, and 1816A. The property owner at this time, Special Magistrate, he has a verbal agreement with the CRA. And so at this time, the city is asking for additional 90 days to get approval for the CRA or obtain all necessary permits, $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
So in this case, compliance, in your eye, is either getting the CRA approval to do whatever they're going to do, or obtaining the necessary permits, but not necessarily completing the work.
Yeah, we did have a meeting with the CRA. There is a project that's going to be happening in the whole area, but part of it is some of the homeowners do need to pitch in and do some of the work. So as soon as they get the approval, they'll be able to move forward with what's necessary, and that was their recommendation as well.
Very well. I do find proper notice in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property has complied with 18106A and G, as well as 744A3, but remains in violation of 94302A4, 18103E, and 18103B. I'll allow 90 days for compliance, meaning within that 90 days, they either have to get the CRA approval or obtain the necessary building permits to do the work.
Yes.
If either of those don't occur, what remedy do we want? Is it
$100 per day?
$100 per day, that's
Yes.
agreed, $100 per day.
Thank you.
Number 56 is complied, 1029 North Tairman Avenue, CE 190402881. Number 58, 1387th Street, CE 190400328.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm. This property was cited on April 18th. Certified mail was sent out also on April 18th. In addition, the property and City Hall were posted on May 8th. This property was cited for inoperative vehicles and garbage can placement. I've had no contact with the owner. The property has complied with the garbage can placement. So at this time, the city is asking for an additional 15 days or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
I will find proper notice with the certified mail and posting. Based on the evidence, I'll find compliance has occurred with 7434A1J, but the property remains in violation of 34102B. I'll allow the additional 15 days requested for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day.
Number 59, 1100 8th Street, CE 19040404.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm. This property was cited on April 22nd. Certified mail was sent out on April 24th. In addition, the property and City Hall were posted on May 1st. This property was cited for clean and sanitary, excessive growth, failure to comply, garbage litter and refuse, overgrowth, trees, hedges obstructing the right-of-way, and cleaning up to the center of the right-of-way. I've had no contact with the owner. Due to the health, safety, and welfare of the community, the city is asking for an additional 3 days or abate, for them to comply or abate.
This is another vacant lot, it looks like.
Yes, another vacant lot.
Definitely overgrown.
Yeah.
So I do find proper notice with the certified mail and posting. I do find the property remains in violation of the code section cited in the notice as stated on the agenda. Based on the evidence, find that those violations do constitute a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. Allow 3 days for the respondent to comply. Thereafter, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate the violations, and assess the costs. No comment on the political signs.
Number 60, 1304 8th Street, CE 19040447.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm. This property was cited on April 25th. Certified mail was sent out on April 26th. In addition, the property and City Hall were posted on May 8th. This property was cited for clean and sanitary, garbage can placement, numbering standards, parking in the swale, parking requirements, outdoor storage. I've had contact with the property owner. The property has complied with the parking in the swale and parking requirements. So at this time, the city is asking for an additional 15 days or $25 per day until compliance is achieved.
All right, so they're complied with 86-226 and
Yeah.
94-482A.
Yes, sir.
All right. I saw that one. On the numbering standards, they have to fix the number 2. Is that?
Just filled that in,
Okay,
yeah.
got it. All right, I will find proper notice with the certified mail in the posting. Based on the testimony and evidence, I do find property remains in violation of 18106A, 7434A1J, 786, and 9471C. What do you want, 30 or 15, did you say?
15 days or $25.
15 and 20, 15 days to comply, $25 per day thereafter. I do find compliance has occurred with 86-226 and 94-482A.
Thank you.
Number 61 is rescheduled, 712 59th Street, CE 19040092. Number 62 is rescheduled, 723 59th Street, CE 19040248. Number 63 is complied, 615 49th Street, CE 19040302. Number 64 is rescheduled, 615 58th Street, CE 19040431. Number 65 is rescheduled, 629 58th Street, CE 19040547. Number 66 is rescheduled, 5901 Pinewood Avenue, CE 19040565. Number 67 is rescheduled, 712 59th Street, CE 19040589. Number 68 it was rescheduled, 431 53rd Street, CE 19050084. Number 69 is complied, 640 59th Street, CE 19050256. Number 70 is complied, 608 59th Street, CE 19050373. Number 71, 5400 East Avenue, CE 19040432.
Serious forward progress there.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement, 5400 East Avenue was cited on 4/23/19. The property and City Hall were posted on 5/10/19 and certified mail was sent on 5/9/19. The property was cited for exterior repair, clean and sanitary, exterior paint, painting of the boards, boarding certificate, fence repair, fence maintenance and repair, and outdoor storage. The property has since come into compliance with all code sections with the exception of 94302-A4 and 18-106-M. I've had contact with Stewart, who's a representative for the company. The city is asking for an additional 30 days or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
All right, I do find proper notice with certified mail in the posting. I find the property remains in violation of 18106M and 94302A4, but has complied with all other code sections that were cited. I'll grant the additional 30 days to bring the property into compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed.
Number 72, 3817 Australian Court, CE 19050068.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement, 3817 Australian Court, was cited on 5/3/19. The property and City Hall were posted on 5/10/19, and certified mail was sent on 5/10/19. The property was cited for a rental license, certificate of use, prohibited vehicle. The property has since come into compliance with, an obstruction of right-of-way. The property has since come into compliance with all code sections with the exception of 18-162-A and 22-32-A. I've had contact with the owner. The city is asking for an additional 30 days or $200 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. I do find proper notice with certified mail in the posting. Based on the testimony and evidence, I will find property remains in violation of 18162A and 2232A, but has complied with 781 and 94487B1. I'll grant the request for the additional 30 days for total compliance and daily fines of $200 per day after that.
Number 73, 3809 Australian Court, CE 19050069.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement, 3809 Australian Court, was cited on 5/3/19. The property and City Hall were posted on 5/10/19, and certified mail was sent on 5/9/19. The property was cited for clean and sanitary, inoperative vehicle, and trash can placement. The property has since complied with all code section with the exception of 34-102-B. I've had no contact with the owner. The city is asking for 15 additional days or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. I will find proper notice in this case. Based on the testimony and evidence, I do find violation remains of 34102B, but the property has complied with 18106A and 7434A1J. I will grant the request for an additional 15 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day.
Number 74 is complied, 3803 Australian Court, CE 19050071. Number 75 is complied, 3709 Australian Court, CE 19050075. Number 76 is complied, 3303 Australian Court, CE 19050078. Number 77 is complied, 3217 Australian Court, CE 19050081. Number 78, 909 36th Street, CE 19050086.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement, 909 36th Street, was cited on 5/3/19. The property and City Hall were posted on 5/10/19, and certified mail was sent on 5/9/19. The property was cited for clean and sanitary, trash can placement, cleanup of the center of right-of-way, address characters, prohibited vehicle, restricted vehicle, screening of restricted vehicle, outdoor storage. The property has since come into compliance with all code sections with the exception of 94-487-B-3 and 94-487-B-5 and 78-6. I've had contact with the property manager. The city is asking for an additional 15 days or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Say 15 days, you asked?
Yes.
All right. I do find proper service with certified mail in the posting. Based on the testimony and evidence, I find the property has complied with 94-487B1 and 94-71C, and 18106A and 7434A1J and 74-4-C-5, but remains in violation of 78-6, 94-487B3, 94-487B5. I'll grant the request for the additional 15 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed.
Number 79, 829 36th Street, CE 19050128.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement, 829 36th Street was cited on 5419. The property and City Hall were posted on 51019, and certified mail was sent on 51119. The property was cited for exterior paint, landscaping of the swale, trash can placement, and landscape maintenance. The property has since complied with the exterior paint and the trash can placement. The property is still in violation with Code Section 94-442-E and 94-446-2. I've had no contact with the owner. The city is asking for an additional 30 days or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. I will find proper notice with the posting and the certified mail. I will find the property has complied with 18103J and 7434A1J, but based on the testimony and evidence remains in violation of 94-442E and 94-446-2. Grant the request for an additional 30 days to bring the property into compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed.
Number 80, 4210 West Terrace Drive, CE 1905030.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement, 4210 West Terrace Drive, was cited on 5419. The property and City Hall were posted on 51019, and certified mail was sent on 5919. The property was cited for clean and sanitary, required inspection, landscape maintenance, boarding certificate, trash can placement, cleanup of the right-of-way, number and standard, and fence repair. The property has since come into compliance with all code section with the exception of 110.1 and 94-302-A-3. I've had contact with the property owner. The city is asking for an additional 30 days or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
All right, I do find proper notice in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I'll find the property remains in violation of 110.1 regarding required inspections for the fence, and also 94-302A3 regarding the fence permit. But all other code sections have come into compliance, and I will grant the additional 30 days, and thereafter daily fines of $100 per day for the outstanding violations.
Number 81, 923 36th Street, CE 1905089.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement, 923 36th Street, was cited on 5819. The property and City Hall were posted on 51019, and certified mail was sent on 5919. The property was cited for failure to secure building permit, required inspection, and numbering standard. The property has since come into compliance with all code sections with the exception of 78-6. I've had contact with the owner. The city is asking for an additional 15 days or $25 per day until compliance is achieved.
So the only thing left is the numbering standards.
Correct.
All right. And I do find proper notice in this case with certified mail and posting. I find the property has complied with 105.1 and 110.1, but remains in violation of 78-6. Grant the request for an additional 15 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $25 per day will be assessed.
Number 82, 935 36th Street, CE 190509192.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement, 935 36th Street, was cited on 5819. The property and City Hall were posted on 51019, and certified mail was sent on 5919. The property was cited for outdoor storage, exterior paint, and numbering standard. The property has not come into compliance with any of the code sections. I've had no contact with the owner. The city is asking for an additional 30 days or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
What's the paint issue on this one?
So the paint, it's pretty much for that.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, and I saw there were no numbering standards, and, oh, there, I see the outside storage there. Okay. I do find proper notice in this case with the posting and the certified mail. Based on the testimony and evidence, I do find the property remains in violation of City Code Sections 9471C, 18103J, and 78-6. Grant the city's request to allow an additional 30 days for the property to be brought into compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 83, 971 42nd Street, CE 190509193.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement, 971 42nd Street, was cited on 5819. The property and City Hall were posted on 51019, and certified mail was sent on 5919. The property was cited for clean and sanitary inoperative vehicle, trash can placement, obstruction of right-of-way, parking requirement, and outdoor storage. The property has since come into compliance with all code sections with the exception of 18-106-A, 34-102-B, and 74-34-A-1-J. I've had no contact with the owner. The city is asking for an additional 10 days or $150 per day until compliance is achieved.
All right, tell me again which ones they complied with.
They've complied with the obstruction of right-of-way, the parking requirement, and the outdoor storage.
Okay, so 78-1 is complied, 94-482A is complied, and 94-71C is complied.
Correct.
Okay. I will find proper notice in this case with the certified mail-in with the posting. There's the garbage can placement. That was the inoperative vehicle. Clean and sanitary. Based on the testimony and evidence, I do find the property remains in violation of 18106A, 34102B, and 7434A1J, but has complied with the remaining code sections cited in the notice of violation. I'll grant the request to allow an additional 10 days to bring the outstanding violations into compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $150 per day will be assessed.
And 84 is complied, 4024 Greenwood Ave, CE 19050248.
Thank you.
That's everything. Is there anything else to come before the special magistrate today? Hearing nothing, it is 12:16 and we stand adjourned.